Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EGFC. My name is Soy. Joining me is Strive, and we are getting ready for some Rocket League action here on this Wednesday evening. And we're starting off with a fantastic duel, a rematch of last year's league championship, University of Texas Arlington going head-to-head against the Delaware Blue Hens.
Exciting stuff, and I don't know what's more exciting at this point, the fact that we're casting a banger of a game to open us up, or the fact that Soy is basically set to go to the International Space Station. They're both hype as heck. Soy, you look mighty fly. I feel immensely underdressed now. And as we converse more about the game, where'd the helmet go? Pick the helmet back up.
Gotta keep it right. Gotta keep it right here.
You got to support the vibe, man. You're gonna go all. I'm joking. You can put it down. You don't have to. Yeah. On that note, really exciting stuff there. Soy is giving us the goods. I'm super pumped for this series. It's going to be really, really fun. Before we go too far, though, we're starting off with a banger of a game, but there's a lot of great Rocket League coming up tonight. Let's go ahead and throw that schedule up so our viewers here on this channel are fully aware of the full rundown of the evening. So you can see there, matchup one, as we said, UTA versus University of Delaware. Second match is going to be Xavier University versus University of Tennessee Knoxville. And you got your William and Mary and University of Cincinnati matchup, third there. And then Auburn going up against Southern California at the end for the finisher. So, Soy, pumped. Great evening ahead of us.
Lots of fun action. A lot of East Coast duels here between a couple of these schools. But focusing back up on this matchup here, UTA going up against Delaware. This should be a fun one. Now, UTA, we talked about it a little bit, but they've gone through a couple of roster changes. This is a squad of names that we didn't frequently get to see. It's a lot of the substitutes of previous years, but they have really shown up this season. 3-1 going up against Delaware, who's also at 3-1, but a squad that's played together for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that makes for a lot of good conversation points as we get into this series. I'm keen here, so I haven't seen much of these two teams. Personally, you've got a lot of history and back knowledge on it, which has got me feeling all sorts of tingly, fun things inside. It's going to be a great series ahead. Anything we should look out for? Any specific players that are on your radar that we can keep our eyes on in this series?
Me personally, the name that sticks out the most of all the names we've seen, the one newest name on that list was Random Shy for the side of UTA. And Random Shy has really stepped up in the kind of opening here for UTA, a 10-5 kind of game score. So they've only dropped a handful of games here and there, but Random Shia is kind of the difference maker. Polka Dot and Sin have played together for a decent amount of time, despite not getting a ton of time in the spotlight. I mean, they've been playing behind some excellent talent in Samba, Adverse, Nava, CRL contenders. So there's a lot of transfer of game knowledge there, but Random Shia is the newer face to this squad, and it's always interesting to see and put a spotlight on them to see how they slot into this new lineup for the side of the Mavericks.
Yeah, for those that aren't watching, I'm secretly taking notes down here on my little notepad. My hands are here. This is my pen. This is my notepad. Watch it. For those that are also joining us, this is the best part about this kind of stuff. I've talked about it time in and time out. You get to learn a lot about these teams. Obviously, their records from the previous seasons carry forward. They give us a good little platform to build our expectations upon. But this is Rocket League, and Soy and I have been together a few times on desk, and boy, have we seen things go completely wonky sideways one way. We've seen amazingly close matchups. So as we get settled in for this game, I'm got my eyes on those players that you've mentioned. I'm keen to see how much of this momentum from the previous weeks and previous season come into this matchup. And a lot of what I love the most about this is the post-game interview for these winners and getting a chance to watch them play and then dig into it deeper. But nonetheless, let's get down into it here. Kickoff underway, Soy.
Delaware in the orange, UTA in the blue, and we are underway here. And I believe you and I got that Delaware matchup last week where they were the ones putting on the offense early, and they're picking up right where they left off here. Stellar is going to find the opener.
Amazing little tick off the rip there, 10 seconds in. Let's get on with the second head-to-head. Kickoff going towards UTA's way. Nice support there from Scooter. Going to pop it up and very quickly chase that ball. Polka Dot contemplating life up in the air to get it, but there is support from the rest of the team here. As Stellar looking to intercept, has a follow-up as well coming in. A Scooter attempt is coming a little bit short, but it is all collected and okay here from Stellar in the backfield.
Opportunity for the moment. Stellar gets a good challenge as well. Delaware has been playing hotter as of recently. Their only loss came in week 1 to the side of Northern Arizona, who is a team that finished top 8 at the end of last year. UTA, they're looking to bounce back from a loss they took recently. So Delaware getting off to a good start here and applying some pressure. Defense will get tested. Scooter just barely getting their nose on that ball, redirecting it away. Minute gone by here, and the Blue Hens hold the lead, but UTA is starting to gather up a little bit more possession. As I say that, that's a turnover, and Scooter will try and 50 it for Stellar. Shot from the corner is dangerous. Off the bounce, Polka Dot will make the save, and Sin tries to clear it away, but this is a lot of what we've seen from Delaware as of late, being able to consistently get pressure from the walls and throw that ball on target.
Yeah, it's great to see, however, on the opposing end, there's no shortness of defense there from UTA as well. They do a great job of returning the ball on back, but you can see just, again, you hit the note really well there, Soy. It's Delaware with just a little bit more pressure in these games, a little bit more consistent on the backfield returns, not giving that much room and keeping that ball that, 10, 20, 30 meters away from the net, protecting it at all costs. And as we go back now with a bit of UTA possession, Odds looking to intercept it, gets a little tap off the edge, but as per usual, we have some support from Scooter in the back end there to clear things up. Off to the backboard we go, attacking it as per usual, but it's a huge midfield battle this game.
Pretty fast pace between the two of them, and it's been mostly kept to the outside, though. Although, like you said, they are able to pretty cleanly transition from offense to defense. Just those offensive chances haven't been as golden as you'd like. But maybe Random Shy can come up with something here. Runs out of boost and can't get that pass down. Polka Dot will keep it in. No boost steal on the backside. Stellar looks to find his teammate in transition. Booming clear here. Follow up. Going to be kicked right back into the orange half. Random Shy is up. Shot off target. Redirected center. Polka Dot is back here. We'll have to race all the way to his back wall. And as we cross that halfway marker, it's still just a 1-goal lead, but one that Delaware will love to take as they go to the skies for this air dribble. Going to get blocked off. Backboard touch here by Odds. Goes all the way to the opposite side of the field, and it's pinched out once more. And UTA, they are holding the line here defensively. Ever since giving up that initial goal, their defenses have been pretty solid.
Yeah, superbly solid at that here. And the contest keeps on coming though from Delaware. They're really good at pushing this ball. A bit of a fake there from Odds. The bumperoni flex. Gonna have a connection, but no, it gets cleared out nicely from Random Shy. Continue to push the ball on through. A nice little pass coming up there to Polka Dot. It's gonna be crossbar top. Sin, follow up. It's a bouncer, and it's going straight into the net as UTA connects it after much contest.
Stellar gets this huge save off the redirect off the backboard, but the demo comes through, and Polka Dot sees a third man racing back, trying to make a save while going back towards their own net, and just gets that back redirect off their spoiler of the car, and that's what kicks it into the net to give UTA a tie game here late. Just inside a minute 30 now. And Polka Dot's going to find a backdoor goal as well. The brace for Polka Dot gives the Mavericks the lead.
Yeah, the shot in itself was great, the connection at the end, but what Polka Dot did there off the wall, being able to stop the ball from even traversing towards the backboard was the real icing on the cake now. And being that defenseman, being the aggressor, as well as the one who's really controlling this ball ahead, a nice little 50, going to pass it off to Sin, looking for the connection down to Polka Dot, going to make it, but it's just a hair short. Sin's going up. You can see Stellar flying up on the backboard as well there to stop the offense in their tracks, and we're going to see if this is good enough for Odds and Co.
Oh, beautiful pass and shot is denied. Stellar also is blocked out. He'll have to race to his own backfield, gets the corner boost off the ceiling, gets a bounce, gets another touch, wins the challenge, but UTA's already back and playing defense. Gets under Scooter. Odds forks it off the wall here. Scooter races in, gets by Random Shy. Now centering a ball for Stellar. Chip shot, high off the backboard. Rebound, redirected away by Sin. High off the corner once more, and Polka Dot is there to respond. Does not get the dunk, but Random Shy will be able to clear it away. 30 seconds remaining, and UTA's defense, ever since giving up the opener, has just been rock solid.
Polka Dot has been stellar. I don't know if it's just the POV catching Polka Dot time in and time out, getting the possession, but these odd touches that are coming out from the corners, preventing the ball from getting, like I said, anywhere near the backboard is what's really helping with these conversions to push that ball downfield. Minus that first 10-second goal that we've seen here, and Sin getting another look at one for the road perhaps, but no, getting deflected back. UTA on track unless there's magic! And there is indeed, I don't know if it's Halloween or what soy sauce, but Delaware deliver the parcel with 0-0 on the clock.
Diller cleared it to himself. He raced after it, followed up the shot, and just barely gets it inside the near post. And what UTA thought was a sure victory is now headed into overtime.
Tragedy or not, look at it how you wish. It started off with a banger first goal, and it ended off with a banger at the end there. Let's see if UTA can keep that momentum that they worked so hard to pick up mid-game here and really cover up these open slots. Love Sin going up early, reading that ball before it even leaves the wall. Bouncing away, good protection there from Odds. The continuation of Polka Dot's aggression is good. Explosions all across the board. Demos coming in from Odds as well. This might be the opening that they so needed.
Be an opportunity here, but everyone's on this backboard for UTA. Air dribble over top. Redirects off a Scooter. That could be dangerous. High at the backboard, gets clipped up towards Sin. Over top of one. Runs out of boost, but gets the challenge over top. Oh! And Polka Dot is there! Toss your hats into the ring. It's a hat trick for Polka Dot. And the Mavericks will take game one.
Look at the connection from Sin, an absolute laser beam downwards. Forget the shot. Sin read it superbly well. It was all good for UTA. GG's, that's going to pass off the first round to the fantastic UTA team members. Soy, you said it was going to be a banger, but I didn't expect to be that much of a banger for game one.
Incredible opening game. Delaware gets the last second goal in zero time, but in overtime, the dish down to Polka Dot from Sin on the air dribble was perfect, using the wall to pinch that ball down at such a high speed. And Polka Dot being in the right spot, that is a fast-paced play. You just have to have that read. You just have to believe that that ball is going to get through, and he does, and it works out perfectly. And just like that, the Mavericks take game one of this best of five.
UTA did such a good job of reading a lot of balls at far ahead of the curve. I mean, seeing Sin, I believe it was like that last 20, 30 seconds, already up off the left wall, ready to contest from the corner. It's these kinds of things that are just what built that momentum. You could see the pace of the game was there, the reads were there, and their comms must have been darn good, impeccable, as you said, to be able to make connections like that all across the field. And they found some so nice openings throughout the game, just little tidbits of goodness. If this is what a warm-up game one is, game two should be a banger at that as well. But again, Delaware, can't dismiss them there, Soy. They were absolutely hot on fire tonight.
Yeah, stellar. The top goal scorers of last season and seasons past, getting on the board twice there in game number one. We'll see if the rest of Delaware can get involved. Scooter tries to, but Sin is able to quickly block that one off. Odds now takes to the ceiling, gets cut off by one defender. Stellar backtracking here, has 50 boost, and Random Shy with the dunk on him to get over top. Sin and Odds combine here for a challenge. That one will be forced all the way to the right side of the field. Stellar now marches forward. Air dribble attempt. Sin gets the block. Polka Dot's challenge gets up the wall. Demo on the backside leaves Odds with an opportunity to get this one back into the blue half, but he runs out of boost yet again, and that seems to be now a consistent struggle here for Delaware. They're able to win these midfield challenges, but by the time they get the ball into the blue half, there's just not a lot of boost left, but they still find opportunities, and it's going to be Scooter from the roof to make it 1-0.
Mega slottage occurring here, much of like what we saw in that final goal, downwards right onto the connection. That's the kind of goodness that makes you smile from ear to ear. Delaware, really nice job of picking up the pieces from the previous game.
Once again, getting the opener. Huge for Delaware. Up 1-0. UTA, back to defense they go. Polka Dot, 47 in the tank here, but he's caught flat-footed. This one could be dangerous, but Sin coming off the wall will be able to make that save. Pinch goes to midfield. Stellar weaving around a bump. Odds got the bump on the second man. Sin gets back in time. No boost left for Odds. He wants to turn, but he can't. His teammate will go in. Redirect in front. Saved by Random Shy. A leap faith on that one, and they still come up clutch, and it will be cleared away.
Odds again, very quick response to the ball, halting it just after midfield. I like the push from Polka Dot here, keeping the pressure on and saying, no, you can halt it, but there's a follow-up waiting for me, and I want to definitely make the connection. Stellar now, looking to chase the ball and shadow defend a little bit here as up goes Sin, making a connection on through. Going to be redirected very quickly back on as Polka Dot receiving it again on the backfield. Getting exploded from Stellar. This might be the pressure, but no, it is Sin to deny off the backboard yet again. Is it slotted? Not so much as they have full control of that net with two people back.
Love the idea of the bounce shot there. Saw the defender was up early and opted to go low, but the shot not on target. Odds now kicks it up to midfield. Sin reads it well. Scooter and Stellar end up both jumping at this ball, so bit of an odd spot here, but Odds keeping the pressure on. High off the corner. Towards midfield. Shot near side. Rebound chance, and they score! Stellar in front of the box to make it 2-0.
It's these rebound goals that have been the theme this evening, minus the couple laser beams we've seen, and they're very difficult to predict. So you can imagine you take a shot, it's a miss. A follow-up shot, second goes up and defends, it's a miss. The third one, who's there for it realistically? How much can you possibly do as two people back on net defending the barrage of shots coming in? They all count, and right off the rip here, Polka Dot gonna bounce it in, and it's just an absolute floater right off the kickoff.
Kickoff goal here, huge, and once again, it's Polka Dot getting another goal here for UTA. That makes all 4 for the Mavericks coming off of the hood of his car. Like you said, off a kickoff goal. I want to flash back to that second goal from Delaware, too. The hard part about the ball just constantly being ripped on net, especially towards the near post. If you've got ball cam on, you can't really see when that follow-up shot is going to come through because the ball is being tracked towards the wall. It's taking your eyes away from the infield. And they're still, and that's partially why they were a little slow to read that ball. But either way, it's a 2-1 scoreline. UTA staying within striking distance, but they have just not had a whole lot of time on offense. The ball has been constantly pushed into the blue half. Stellar goes hunting here. Doesn't find all that much, though. Scooter will chip it right back in. Random Shy's got another solid read defensively to punch that ball right back out. Whiff comes out here. Odds looks short side, but Random Shy dives back to make the save.
I love these little chips coming in from everybody. Just try to take a poke at the net. Not necessarily going to be the banger or a laser beam to finish the deal. Sometimes it is a direct chip right into a defender, but it's keeping the pressure on. It's keeping the ball in the opposition's court. Now Stellar has an opportunity, but letting some teamwork occur. Scooter going to pick up the pieces. Off the wall they go. And again, you said it yourself, Delaware's domination in this corner and on the offense has been superbly great. They're keeping that pressure on, but it's an opener. It is absolutely opening for the taking, as that's going to be the equalizer from Random Shy.
They were pinching in so much. You were talking about those little chips to try and deal away at the boost of UTA, but the downside is if you miss the ball at midfield, you're going to give an open net to the UTA defense, and that is an easy, clear goal for them. A backdoor that will tie this game up at 2 apiece. Kickoff chance here is denied by Random Shy. Maybe something from the wall, but Random Shy, again, defensively has just been on lock for them, cutting off a lot of these infield passes and even some shots on target too. So really solid stuff to the new member of UTA, continuing to make their presence known. A minute remaining here. Short side angle is denied by Sin. 2 players jump off the backboard here. Odds will keep it in the blue half. Follow up, chipped at, but once again blocked. Scooter through the corner. Can't get too much. Gets a bump on Random Shy. Odds is there to follow up, but he is denied by Polka Dot. And with 40 seconds to go, UTA is now on offense.
Yeah, Delaware just incredibly good at defending his 2-3, and then immediately within 4 seconds, they've completely rotated downfield and have set up an opportunity to attack. And that's what's making them so strong now and are able to hold on with this pace of UTA. On the same front, Polka Dot has been absolutely nominal in this series, goal-wise, yes, but also for keeping the pressure on. Nice little reception there from UTA on the backfield. The continuation of Random Shy here, looking to pick up the dribble and carry it all the way through. Intercepted there by Stellar, right back to midfield. Polka Dot chipping it down again. It is so close there, Soy, but 7 to go. Do we have one more in the tank, or are we taking this off to overtime?
We saw Delaware get a 0-time goal in game 1, but this one will hit the ground. Back to overtime we go, and once again, a 2-2 game. Shows how nail-bitingly close this series is. Kicks out mid, but Stellar not in the right spot to follow up. UTA looking to stretch the field here. Gets off of the ramping part of the corner there, and it will kick down into the orange half. Scooter to launch it back down in. Odds is behind the play. Stellar on the challenge, but they cannot jump at this one. Polka Dot looking to launch this ball up. Random Shy sending it towards his own net. Could lead to a follow-up chance. Low ball in. Polka Dot makes the save and air dribbles it to safety. Hands it off to Sin in the air as well. And UTA look to head the other way. Again, not a ton of offense for them in game number 2, but their chances have been deadly. They've scored on just a handful of shots on goal, while the possession has been very heavily towards the Blue Hens side.
A little bit of boost starvation there, causing the ball to stall dead in its tracks now. But there's a follow-up here. Sin still hunting and prowling. Stellar up for it. Nice little touch as well. Going to send it back up. But both these teams very, very quick on getting up in the air and halting each other right in their tracks. I don't see too many hardcore passing plays. A lot of throwaway chip shots, but just not. It's not there yet, Soy. We're just we're missing that final connection. That one little 1-800 dialing for help there to get the ball on through. We'll see if it can occur now. Touch going in, Random Shy got it, but again, the defense of UD has been stellar this game.
Often the deal breaker in a couple of these scenarios, good shot there from Odds, denied by Polka Dot, but something that's worth noting, I think, is that a couple of these opportunities have come off the physical play. The demos on the backside, the third man has to be very careful in their decision-making and positioning. They've got to be so aware, because once that first player dives at the ball, they're often hunting, looking to either steal, boost, or get a demo. Cannot afford to misposition yourself. Launched towards the orange backboard here, and Stellar will try and clear it. Kept in by Sin. Scooter, and I believe Odds was up there as well, so a double commit, but it will get pinched out once more. Possession starting to tip in UTA's favor for the overtime period. They've gotten this ball into the orange half a couple of times, but again, no quality chances so far. Ripped off the corner once more. Scooter to launch it high towards the backboard. Denied on the roll down. Odds blocked by Sin from the sky as well. Random Shy loses the ball to Stellar. Air dribble attempt. Pinched off the ceiling. Can't get back to it. Can't get the bump, and Sin will punch it to the side. Polka Dot loses his challenge, but Sin will the boost to race over, and we're starting to encroach on that period of time into overtime where you're just kind of waiting for that one break, that one moment. Who will make the first mistake as the clock continues to tick upwards towards the 3-minute mark here of overtime?
To build up on your point of making a mistake, and that's kind of what I was going to say next, is really it's a matter of time at this point. And I mean that in the most frank way. Any of these balls that have been going up in the air now in these different positions, whether it's off the backboard, the ceiling, whatever, they're all in deadly, deadly spots. One mistouch, one shortcoming, and we are in trouble, and that might be it. But no, it's these save shots from both these teams, always backing each other up. Stellar! Going in high, reading it well, and going to carry that ball through, going to give Delaware this round.
The reaction! He sees Random Shy and he's got no fear. He comes off the wall and stays with the play. And Stellar gets the backboard read to put Delaware on the board. And if you thought the last series was close, the last grand final, oh boy, 2 overtimes here, and we're guaranteed a 4th game.
This is just so much fun at this point. So you couldn't make this up. You just can't. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day, and we're getting this sort of stuff happening. It makes me excited. And yeah, you're right. Having seen Delaware in the past, I expected nothing short of incredible here. You and I, you've told me before, and I fully agree with you, UTA are just demonic. They've showed it in game 1. They showed their prowess and their ability to stand up to Delaware for so long in game number 2. Where we go now, I think, is a complete toss-up. Both these two teams have a very clear play style, super aggressive. Stellar has been, to be very clear, Stellar every single time. The quick reads and last-minute decision-making on the spot to follow the balls through and keep the pressure on is what's been working so well for Delaware. And you could see that they started adapting that same UTA type of play style, just keeping it very quick. And I don't know what it is tonight, Soy. What is it with the kickoff goals? I didn't get the memo. Did you?
I did not either, but it's been the consistent theme through this series. Someone's getting one of them, and this time it's Scooter being the benefactor. 3 seconds into the match, and for the 3rd game in a row, the Blue Hens strike first, and UTA will have to battle back.
And it's like history repeats itself, and that is the reality of it now. Stellar, again, chip shot. Delaware, pretty nutty with these little chips, but they're not converting into the goodness. I want to see a bit more of a passing play out of them perhaps here. Scooter using a whack load of boost to deliver that ball to the support team. It is Stellar with the pop-up now, going off the roof and redirecting on the corner. Nice little touch there, late contest there from UTA. Going to give Sin that possession now. Looking for the corner touch, but no, redirected very quickly by Scooter. Random Shy at the midfield, dumping in some boost there to keep the pressure on. Redirected by Stellar again. Really good reads coming out here from Delaware.
Working their ball out of this corner has been a little difficult, but they got it into a dangerous spot. Only problem is Delaware was there, read the play. The defense of the Blue Hens starting to get tested more frequently. Odds now marches forward, gets a good redirect here. Ramping up now. Polka Dot being chased from behind. Gets over top of Scooter, so Stellar has to be the last man back. And Polka Dot beats him as well. Good challenge there to fork that ball wall. Could have been a dangerous shot, but instead Delaware gets away and they're able to recoup because of it. Now Random Shot gets a challenge, but no boost to follow up upon it. Working their way along this wall is Polka Dot, but again, easily read by the defense. Delaware just keeping everything manageable. And look at the redirect off the post and out. Odds nearly had a beauty of one. Delaware still cannot find the back of the net and extend this lead.
Struggling it is, but Stellar's got possession now off the left wall. A little bounce off the backboard. These have typically been the dangerous ones, but luckily there is UTA to halt it in its track. Scooter getting the less than optimal touch there. Going to pass it off to the corner rather than a hard clear back down the field, but that's okay. Polka Dot, a little bit of a boom on the way on Stellar as we rotate back now. Ball floating. Polka Dot going to receive it. Odds not looking to contest, but rather shadow defend. It's Sin going up, though. It's a good read, but there is Stellar and Co. holding firmly on that net. Random Shy keeping that ball in the corner. Looking to contest the backboard. Put the pressure on, but the pressure is met with very, very strong defense.
These challenges are so close. UTA, this one might be it, but no, Odds dives back to make the save. UTA keeping the pressure on here. They've got some boost, but they're keeping it to the wall, trying to buy some time and space here, but not a whole lot of it. Delaware is just barely getting back in time. Odds with a whiff here. No one able to react to it by UTA. And that third man again for UTA, if they go, it's likely a goal, but they're so scared that if they don't go, all of a sudden UTA might have a backdoor goal. This one's a whiff on the backside, and Polka Dot will punish them for it. Tie game with 2:12 to go.
We said it in that previous OT. It takes one. It's every single one of these shots are in a vicinity that if given the opportunity, someone's going to seal the banger. And it's just a matter of whiffing and for that mistake to come through, like you said, Soy. So the equalizer it is. Off we go for the kickoff here. Sin, nice little 50 contesting it right down the center. This might be that open net opportunity. Do we have the double touch? It's a banger. It's a floater, but it's going to get cleared out.
Off the post and out, no one expecting the rebound, but what a read from Polka Dot! Says, okay, post, you denied me once, but not twice here, and the feed from Sin is spectacular.
Polka Dot renewing that library card with that read right in, and that is the kind of stuff that dreams are made of. Throw that in a nice little reel clip, would you there, Soy? Awesome things from UTA to get that 2-1 lead now. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Odds, pressure, right back to Stellar. Ball in control, but not for long as Stellar is absolutely tumbling through the weeds here, trying to maintain possession of this ball. A nice little hop over, a little supporting touch from Scooter, going to be met by Sin at midfield. Back to the Delaware squad it is. Polka Dot midfield, pressure continues, and there's always that third man back to stop that pressure in its track.
Delaware's gotten a couple of these infield passes, but the players are just not in the right spot. They're either reading it too early or too late. And UTA's defense has been able to hold because of it. Pinch here off of their own back line. Caught by Random Shy. Can't get back to it, though. Odds wins the challenge. Popped up once more. Sin now has to go up for this ball. Stellar looks across, but he overshoots Odds to the wall. Sneaks by one. Can't get the challenge on the second. Goes to Stellar with some space. Doesn't have a ton of boost. Finds a shot. Infield angle. Off the post again. Onto the and he scores! Tie game with 1:02 remaining.
I love it. 1, miss. 2, boom with the trouble, and Odds here being the patient third. You said the third man was going to be the solution, and it seems like it indeed was for Delaware. That's the equalizer, just what the doctor ordered. How does UTA respond to this? They came out the gate swinging so well, but Delaware, with their tenacious attitude, continue to chip away at this ball, able to equalize on through. We'll see what Scooter now can do here in the corner with the ball. Get a nice little touch right back to Stellar and Co. Going to be met with Sin. It's a bop. It's a jam, and it's a goal from Sin. Keeping that ball in check.
Sin with the muscles bullies this ball in, catch and challenge galore to the corner. 3-2 UTA, and this series just gets more and more wild. First 2 games went to overtime at 2 apiece. Now Delaware has to find a third just to get it there. But a demo comes through on the backside. Scooter will have this clear, but Sin is up for it already. Now maybe a catch here from Odds. Off the wall. Boost in tank, looking for Stellar. Polka Dot's defense just too strong. Now the weight shot off the backboard. Stellar is here along the wall. He's looking for a redirect. They've got it off the crossbar. It's pinched down in front by Polka Dot. Who else to keep UTA safe on defense?
Polka Dot continuing to bully off the wall here with odds and trying to keep that ball in check now. Sin, a little bit of a dribble action, going to hold firmly on that, carrying the ball a fair distance downfield. 8 seconds to go. UTA need to hold on here. They keep that pressure on Soy. Where is Delaware? They have to make that call a friend call ASAP. Bopping it over Random Shy off the backboard. Is there a connection into the net? It's flying. It's down and it's not in the net. Last second it is. UTA bring it home.
UTA are on to match point with that shot right there going just high off the backboard and no follow-up. They had 0-second magic in game 1, couldn't find it in game 3 here. But what a close series this has been. So many quick decisions from players are being the difference. And I gotta flash back in that last game to the defense right around the middle portion of the game, 3 minutes to 1 minute or so. The defense of Delaware just had one too many whiffs, was out of position, too many times, spent too long on defense. They've been so clean at transitioning from defense to offense, but the minute those touches go awry, UTA, the theme of this team has been the punishes, and they are a absolute unit right now in terms of those punishes.
They truly are. They find opportunity and they don't back away. The moment they have possession and they know that they can keep that pressure on, they are relentless. And UTA gave me very much University of Delaware style of play towards the end there. They were so tenacious on that ball. It's like it was glued to their car. Nobody was looking to toss the ball away and chip shot it per se. They were rather more interested in working as a team and really delivering it the full distance. You saw that long dribble from backfield. I didn't see too many of those carrying the ball on top of your car for 3/4 of the field. That was something fresh for me. And that's the kind of stuff that I think maybe have caught Delaware off guard a little bit per se, but nonetheless, a great game. And we'll see how this matchup now goes. The ultimate chance for UTA to take the series.
Delaware team that, like you mentioned, those chip shots, they often try and find those midfield passes, but as this series has gone on, it's been harder and harder to connect on those. Shout out to Polka Dot for the series they're having. It's a career one at that, it feels like, positionally making so many key touches to either keep his team alive or make the saves to keep them in possession of the ball. Random Shy here is in an odd spot. Stellar's bearing down on him, and Random Shy doesn't find the touch until after the backboard pinch there, but it will go in UTA's favor, only for a moment though. Odds can't get back over to the ball, no boost in his tank. Stellar's got a difficult corner read, gets by him, and it's on the goal line for Random Shy, and UTA gets their first opening goal of the game.
Polka Dot not only gets the first touch backfield, but also gets the second touch in downfield on the left side and giving the ball to Random Shy. Goal to Random Shy. Big bravo and round of applause to Polka Dot there to make that play happen. That's the kind of stuff that dreams are made of now. Sin looking for a follow-up there. Luckily, Odds is back, and UTA off the gate looking very, very strong, Soy Sauce.
Looking very strong indeed. Minute gone by. Polka Dot's on this ball. Can he get back to it as well? Scooter actually able to chip it over top of him, which forces Sin up with not a lot of boost. Possession now to the Blue Hens. They launch it up, looking for the infield pass. Scooter fakes it, and this is a 2-on-2 the other way on the goal line, and Stellar is there. Look at the creativity, biting on the fake. Odd sneaks in here, and it's a short side shot that Sin has to save, and Stellar is there to dunk the rebound.
Love that little X factor play there from Odds. Not looking for the hard chip shot that we've seen, but rather a bit of a ground shot. Going to keep the ball nice and low. Going to allow the follow-up to pummel it into net. That's the kind of stuff that's been working great for them. Let's see if they can continue that right up here. Polka Dot playing the net, playing the offense all over this field now. Stellar expending a lot of boost to get to this ball. Going to go ahead and get a touch, but not before the Demon. Polka Dot looking for possession to bounce it. Losing it now to Odds, and Sin going to try and pick up the pieces here. Halting it off in the corner, but Odds, nice little chip right back to midfield. A pickup from Stellar now, turning, E-brakes activated. Going to go for the attempted goal, but it's going to go wide.
Delaware has a lot of right ideas from players, but they're starting to trip over each other's feet. You've seen two players commit on both a shot attempt and on the turn. So you got to be very careful here if you're the Blue Hens. It's a hard line to tote, but they've got to do it if they're going to battle back in this series and force us to game 5. Stellar's now up. Off the ceiling, Polka Dot has the read. Odds with a loft ball. Sin with an easy save to the outside. Racing in with Scooter. Now Sin on the pop-up. Scooter gets a demo. Bounce shot deflected wide. Maybe a chance here short side. Off the crossbar and out. And Polka Dot's going to force it high as well. Stellar can't commit to this ball yet, and Random Shy will get the clear. But maybe a chance here. Another short side angle. Random Shy nearly had it. Scooter looking to transition now, trying to make this 3-on-2, but it drops down to Odds once more. And these awkward plays on the ramping part of the roof have been really difficult for UTA to read, but it's given Delaware more and more time on attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Polka Dot contemplating life, getting to the ball just a little bit quicker now. Going to be the push that they need to get it downfield, but Stellar in control with Random Shy. Again, being so aggressive as UTA, not looking to leave this ball up in the air for more than 2 seconds at a time. Polka Dot, much of the same midfield contest. Stellar looking for the redirect. Again, halted in its tracks by Random Shy. It's this defense. It's this offense. It is absolutely demonic from UTA.
2 goals for Random Shy, and what a dunk. He has been a midfield menace, and he gets a clutch one there to give UTA the lead. 2:02 on the clock here. Delaware has to find a way to battle back. This pinch will go to the orange half, but Odds is quick to cut it off. 40 boost in his tank. The 50 goes to Stellar, but he overplays it. Back pass now. Scooter cut off by guess who? It's Random Shy. Drop down in front. Should be a chance for Sin, and he nails it! Sniper to the upper third, and UTA extends their lead.
You can see how precarious of a position it is when that ball is floating above the net and so close to it at that. The ability to jump and react to a ball laser beaming from 15 feet high is so hard. And that's the kind of stuff that UTA want to go ahead and capitalize on. Now, 2-goal advantage here. Sin winning the kickoff. Scooter quick redirect right on back. Polka Dot off the corner. Second touch, not available. It's going to give that ball right back off there to University of Delaware. Sin, bit of a redemption opportunity. Waiting patiently to see if that ball is going to hit towards net side, and no, it is halted by Polka Dot. But again, we are lingering in dangerous territory, as this ball is hovering right above net.
Be very careful here. Minute 20 left. Shot short side off the post. Just barely couldn't cut the angle. Scooter now tries to feed it to himself off the wall, but he's denied by Random Shy. Odds can't get going, and Sin's gonna win the midfield race. And UTA start to run away with this one. Minute 10 remaining, and it's a 3-goal lead.
UTA have been just not even a millisecond, half a second quicker to these balls on so many occasions. They're going up well ahead of time needed, and they're able to convert it into opportunity for them. And Sin here off the kickoff, going to pass it on through, hopefully get a connection, but halted in his tracks now. Random Shy keeping the pressure on. Sin again up nice and early, going to contest that ball on through. Odds wants to put that pressure on, going to get halted very quickly here now. Back pass to Scooter to the right. Polka Dot is chasing it like an absolute monster. Over Stellar's head, going to give the ball back to Random Shy. Sin for the tap, and Polka Dot is up for the redirect, but it is contested and halted.
Delaware is going to bring this one back. They need to score on this possession, and they will! Odds on the dunk gets the goal to cut the lead in half here. What a read from him to get Random Shy back.
Odds had a task in mind. It was to deliver that ball all the way to net, and I love the pressure and the boost used to absolutely pummel that sucker right on through. You like to see it. Polka Dot winning the kickoff here. Odds, it's open for the most part, but Random Shy is there to receive. Polka Dot rotating back now to be second in line, getting boomed off there. Scooter looking to touch, but not going to get it now. Redirected back. Where are we going here? Where is Stellar in this party about to join in? But 3 members of the UTA squad are there to keep that ball in check. Polka Dot throws the ball away to Scooter now. Off the backboard. It's in a dangerous spot, but cleared out very nicely here as now Odds keeping that pressure on. Do we get a repeat of history, Soy?
Gotta score now. Shot across, not there. Rebound chance from Odds is denied, and Polka Dot will play patient. He'll play for the clock, which will tick down to 0. And even if this ball goes in, it will still mean a UTA victory. The Mavericks shut down Delaware in 4.
Amazing stuff there from UTA. I can confidently and happily say Delaware played such a great game, great series. Like, it didn't feel at any one moment in time that they were completely out of the running. They contested everything. They were on point as a team. They took the shots that they needed to take. Yes, they were chipping it away, but not connecting. It just felt like they had a 5%, 10%, delta to how quick they were getting to those balls. In that last game especially, University of Texas Arlington was so quick to beat them, and obviously were able to convert goal after goal with that.
Through the midfield too, credit to UTA's defense, an absolutely spectacular series from them, save after save, and coming up clutch when they needed to. They get the 3-1 series win here over the side of the Delaware Blue Hens. So Delaware falls to 3-2. UTA is now 4-1. And we will have a chance to interview one of UTA's players after a short intermission. So don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started here at the EGFC.
Trick or treat. The trick is the timer was wrong. 6 minutes means nothing here. Welcome back to the desk here. It is myself, Strive, joined by the fantastic Soy Sauce. We're going to transition over. We have the fantastic Random Shy joining us here for an interview. Random Shy, welcome to the party. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much. It's definitely a great win for us, especially after our rough loss last week of our loss against, I believe it was, I couldn't remember who it was last week, but that's also a good thing because we put it behind us and went into this week with a new game plan or revisionized game plan. And at first it was a little rocky, but then we started to ramp it up and took advantage of Delaware's mistakes and awkward and weird
Yeah.
movements, and thankfully got the W. Got finished for last week.
That's great. I mean, you kind of answered my first question, which was going to be kind of explaining to me the progression of, game 1 to game 2 to game 3 and what you guys looked to change. It looked like you guys became more and more aggressive, much more united, and did a good job of reading some of those chip shots and random hits that were coming out from the opposition. So feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, or if you want to explain your guys' change of gameplay after game 1, 2, and 3, feel free.
No, you seem to pay it right on the mark. It was their initial playstyle kind of caught us off guard. It was kind of wonky, kind of out of the ordinary of a usual playstyle that we would see.
Sure.
And after the first couple games, we were kind of like readjusting. And once we began readjusting, we uh, one of the big things that we were taking advantage of was us being on defense a lot. Because after I think game 3 or 2, I think 2 we lost, and they had like 15 shots, and we had 2, and we still had them in overtime. And that's when we decided to go a little more on the aggressive side, not let them have all those opportunities. Because unfortunately, one of them did eventually go in and
You got
cost us
it.
the game. But thankfully, we were able to get regrouped, get refocused, got a little more aggressive, pushed them to their brink, and forced them into mistakes, and we took advantage of them and got the easily dub at the end.
Super well said, well executed. I'll give it off to Soy for the second question.
Yeah, so you were talking about, in the one game that you dropped, and even in the opener that you're able to kind of steal, Delaware is known for being an oppressive offense, that they just continually, rip the ball on target or at least close to, that they pile on shots. But one thing we commented on, your defense this series seemed, to really step up overall. So against these high octane offenses, how do you keep the defense going? How do you sustain defensively? What's the biggest key for you guys defensively?
We were able to get organized, try to focus more on how we were trying to. We started communicating more, and uh, I was talking to Adverse about this a few days ago of what should we do if we're caught in this position of being stuck on defense and try to get out of it. And he gave some really good advice about how we should try to control the ball more, try to look for each other more when we're getting out of the backfield, and not to just jump, pray, and hope we get it out. Because some of those times we might get a bad touch, or they'll force a bad touch on us, and it'll end up in a goal. And um, so we're able to get the ball out and start to kind of do what they were doing to us of uh, force them into mistakes, them give us the ball right back, and us make some crazy dives like they were doing. Kind of give them a taste of their own medicine, and we're able to do that and execute it to its best point.
Sweet. Happy times. I love it. Like it's cool to hear that you guys have conversed about some of these things. And so it's a refreshing thing for sure. I think to understand that teams as a whole are not only analyzing a specific game, but analyzing situations that can occur in so many different games against so many different teams. So hopefully that was a sufficient answer. So anything, if you want to add on top, feel free to jump in and help me. But otherwise, I think we're good on that note. Random Shy, the final thing here, and it's an easy one. Any kind of shout outs, anything you want to say on desk here before we let you go?
Shout out to both of my parents watching. Shout out to my friends watching. Shout out to my teammates Sin and Polk for bailing me out again when I was struggling with those that weird play style, and also in game 2 when I had like over 100 ping. They're helping me out so much. And
Love it.
same thing, without them, I wouldn't be here right now talking to y'all.
Exciting.
And, oh yeah, one last thing. Trick or treat. We definitely got the treat tonight.
Love it. Congratulations, Random Shy. On that note, Soy, go ahead and sign us off here on this fantastic Halloween evening.
Yeah, no, that's going to be it for the first match. Thank you, Strive. We'll have plenty more action. If you want to follow Strive, be sure to check out EGF Rocket League. He'll be hopping on over there for plenty more Rocket League action. But stick around for more East Coast action here. Xavier versus Tennessee is next. You're not going to want to miss it.
And welcome back. The action just does not stop. I'm Jay Turbo, joined alongside Soy Sauce. We got Xavier up against UTK. Both teams 1-3 and really looking for a win today.
Yeah, really looking to bounce back off of some slow starts through the first quarter of the season, but both teams with very high potential. I mean, UTK, we talked about it. Some of these players are getting more and more time. Shaka entering the lineup should be a lot of fun, but Xavier, couple new faces to them. They're still kind of regrouping. Scrib going to be the player to watch because Galaxy and Confused Irish starting to become veterans of the scene.
Yeah, they're really stepping up, being those older faces around the Xavier program. And I mean, we covered UTK last week, their matchup up against George Washington. And it felt like if Shaka was in there game 1, maybe it was a different series and they wouldn't have lost that one. So now they're really starting all guns blazing, bringing that main roster. And we saw how much of an impact Shaka can have just bumping up that pace. And Xavier's got to be ready for it.
Xavier's got to be ready for it. I mean, it's a tall task to deal with that offense, but we've seen Xavier deal with some high-powered offenses. Their one win was against USC in reverse sweep fashion, so they've been able to take down some high-octane offenses. They've got an interesting kind of marker here. They're 1-3, but they've got the 1-3 teams, one of the better goal differentials is just -10. So it's not all that much. So they're keeping it close in a lot of games. It's just a matter of if Xavier, like their name, has that X factor about them. We'll see if they've got that this week against University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm certainly looking for it. You just got me chuckling, smiling after that one because I'm here for it. We saw they had the clutch factor a couple weeks ago against USC, and these guys are coming out of the Big East. They know what intense offenses look like, and I just want to see whether or not they can bring it to the pitch. Eyes on Scrib and Shaka for both teams, the playmakers to look out for as we are off the rip, and I think we've got to lobby a reset real quick.
Yeah, get that quickly redone here, but should be interesting to see how these teams play out. Like you said, Shaka entering the lineup here, got to see them, really their first start was last week, but the minute they took to the pitch, their impact was immediately felt in terms of just pace of play. I think in terms of physicality was another thing that UTA or that University of Tennessee Knoxville really amped up. That's something that they brought to the table. Joe Bro has kind of acted more as the facilitator of this team, being the offensive guy, just being often the second man in, or even being on that first man in, constantly looking for more creative passes, pinching off of 50-50s, trying to use the backboard wall instead. And Shaka has some uncanny chemistry with him. So that duo is going to be something to look forward to as this series goes on.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking back to when he came in the George Washington series, it was immediate seeing them just connect passes in the midfield and completely destroy what George Washington was expecting out of that matchup, letting them sneak away a game. And even in the post game, their players were just like, yeah, we were not ready for that level of connection and that kind of consistency, as now we're ready to see it on the pitch as we're actually up and away, as Shaka forced to make an early save as Confused Irish quick off the kickoff.
UTK in the orange here, going up against Xavier in the blue half, and Hermes, one of the more veteran players of this Tennessee roster, and they're going to find Joe Bro right off the bat here. The pass from up high sets up his teammate, and Tennessee strikes first.
Yeah, so well done. Just a nice little lob over, nothing too sharp, nothing too quick, just enough to get around that contest. And Xavier having to respond to this 1-0 deficit already, as Hermes once again had the reset, just used it to drop down, looking for the pass and wasn't quite quick enough, as that's going to be another clearance. It's right back over to Hermes, though, as that's a bit of a give and go, as Scrib keeps it in the blue possession and Joe Bro ferries it out.
Things that I'll be very interested to see, especially for Xavier as things go on. You go back to, I talked about the roster turnover. One of their key players was Valor on this squad, and he was one of the big defensive players for this team, was leading the Big East in saves for a time. And so with him out of the lineup, who for Xavier is going to have to step up defensively? Will it be the new face Scrib, or will it be players like Confused Irish being a bit more of that back line, because they're going to need it here against Tennessee, already applying some pressure short side. Galaxy comes up with the save.
Yeah, and that was a little messy for a second, as it seemed there was some dunk potential, but turns into a nice little offensive approach, and I like that pressure from Scrib, not being afraid, wanting to step up, and no boost in the tank, so can't keep it going. As Galaxy, good interception, decent control. Hermes with the composure to keep it out of the box.
Confused Irish tried to follow up with a bit of a pop shot there, but just a little too soft and too outside. Easy for Tennessee to read. Now Joe Bro working from a kind of off angle. We'll be able to keep this one tight, but Confused Irish is there with Bruce, gets a good challenge. Shaka now up for it along the wall. Not flush to the wall low, so he has to hold his boost as long as he can. Good dunk here from Scrib will get Xavier going the other way. They don't find a shot here until late. Confused Irish skies it high. Galaxy now looking for the setup. Hermes reads it. Scrib is getting harassed here, and they nearly are able to turn it into a redirect. Joe Bro continuing to up the pressure. Hermes dives in now. Challenge goes to his nose. He's able to get a jump here as well. Shaka back pass here. We'll leave it for Hermes all the way across. Tries to find Joe Bro, but it's just too far and wide.
And one thing I want to focus on with this continued pressure, as this just might be a goal, Joe Bro denied by the post, is how it's constant pressure, it's constant team connection. They're not taking bad shots, they're prioritizing their teammates, and it's what gave them that 40 minutes of sustained, or 40 seconds, excuse me, not 40 minutes, of sustained pressure. Fortunately for Xavier, they're able to make it out, turn it into a decent approach, but it's those kinds of moments where you see the boost start to drop, where you see the responses get a little bit slower, that holes start to emerge as Galaxy with another good save on the back line.
Two players bite at this one defensively for Xavier, but they're able to get out of it for the moment. Like you said, that connection for UTK, the ability to find their teammates. Xavier trying to stretch the field there and do just the same, but just a little bit too far on that pass. Scrib now on the air dribble, denied. Confused Irish, over top of one, gets by the second, but no shot incoming. Scrib can't read the wall here, which means that Confused Irish will have to get back in time. Minute 30 now. Jobro parked inside the box, but he is blocked out by Galaxy. Hermes to launch it right back in. Jobro's taken to the ceiling to try and redirect this, but it is blocked out once more by the Musketeers. And it feels like Xavier, again, they're able to get the ball out defensively, but this offense, the quality of chances, it's kind of B grade at best. They cannot really cleanly work this ball out of the corner or at least get a decent shot on target. A lot of their shots have been just wide or just easy to save, and it means that Tennessee can start to head the other way every time those shots aren't the strongest.
Yeah, and we're just seeing a lot of boomer clears coming out of Xavier. It's letting them maintain their boost totals. It's making sure nothing's getting in the net. But as we see, it's consistency and it's these connections that UTK is going to punish you for. It was enough. This whole play started back with another just near giveaway in the midfield. And look what UTK can do when given the space, given the opportunity, and punishing those lazier clears.
And Galaxy was there, had a read on it, but not the right one, just could not quite get over in time. So dangerous was that redirect from Jobro. Had no idea where exactly they were going to go with that ball, couldn't react fast enough to it. And now Xavier entering miracle territory if they want to pull off a victory in game number 1. 20 seconds now. Good clear here, but Shaka in the right spot, bumped off of it, but Scrib also facing the wrong way, so can't cleanly control that ball. Shaka looks to turn. Giveaway to Scrib here. Could be a last-second opportunity. This ball has to go, but it's launched too high, and the shot will go wide. The clock will strike 0, and Tennessee will take game 1.
And it's a very good win, maintaining most of the pressure, holding the majority of that possession. It was a 2-0, but it felt a lot more dominant than that just by the fact of how little time Xavier had outside of their own half. And earlier, I said that they were sort of lazier clears. I don't think that's the right adjective. I think it's just that they're a little rushed because they're feeling outpaced and they're not sure how to keep up. And sometimes you default to boomer ball and UTK finding ways to punish it, as we saw in that last minute.
The other problem, too, is those clears aren't exactly, there's two ways you can kind of clear the ball. You can kind of launch it or dribble it, but one of the things about those big booming clears that you're talking about is that Tennessee's usually got a player back in the right spot. A lot of teams that go for that booming clear, they launch it towards the backboard or launch it to an open area. Xavier's just kind of launching it, but they're not finding the open pockets. It means that Tennessee is able to quickly get over to wherever that clear is going. And like you said, Xavier's able to keep boost off the back of it, but it's basically, like you said, giving possession over and over again to Tennessee, and that allows them to relaunch offensively, to go for a couple of those plays. And especially since Tennessee's offense, it's very much right now a 54-year teammate type of offense, set it up for the next man in. It makes those offensive stints even more dangerous.
Exactly. And I think Xavier can make a couple pretty small adjustments that don't take a huge change out of your gameplay. If you want to play a little bit more boomer ball, if you want to have these larger clears, that's fine. Just make sure your intention, make sure you're sending someone up the wing so you can have someone ready to receive and you're not just sending it straight into Vol territory. As we see it pop up from Confused Irish, that's another bit of a giveaway. Fortunately, UTK hands it right back over to Scrib, but these boost totals are low for Xavier and this offense is going to get shut down quickly.
Demo side 2, Galaxy has to backtrack here. Can't find the read off the corner. Short side angle. Scrib gets a good challenge there. It's 2-on-1 the other way, but again, Galaxy just poked it too far forward, lost control, and it means that this ball will roll to the corner. Maybe a chance here for Scrib. Goes far side with it, kicked back up high, but Hermes should be able to clear this one away. Scrib looks to turn here. Good challenge, but Jobro on the block here. Shaka, getting that block. Bounce shot here, saved by Jobro, but Xavier starting to get some good pressure here on this offense, keeping Tennessee to the back third, gets by one. Confused Irish tries to go low. Scrib threatens a demo. Galaxy can turn because of it. Shaka with a huge clear, and that's just what Tennessee needed.
And I think it's exactly what you were mentioning. There's a little bit more threat of that physicality as they're entering, and we're seeing a little bit more pressure on the corners. We saw Galaxy just standing and waiting for an opportunity when Hermes just passed it right back. Those are the options Xavier has to look for when UTK are getting a little pressured because of those demo pressures, and because you're just trying to pass it to yourself, you might get a little lazy off of those touches if you're UTK because of how comfortable you were in game one. Not quite as sharp, and we're seeing it work out in these opening 2 minutes for Xavier as a nice shot easily saved. There's still the rebound, and it's denied with a demo.
Good demo there. Jobro, can he sneak by? No Galaxy able to get over. Shaka, infield pass, looking for somebody, anybody, but the handoff not there. Hermes late to it, but he still gets possession. Inside the blue box, gets by one there off the whiff.
Oh, no.
Rebound chance will get collected by Jobro. It's a walk-in goal through the Xavier defense. Scribb here just misreads the bounce, and the giveaway costs him.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate for Scribb. It was a shallower bounce than anticipated, and you're just completely out of position. Make the best touch you can, but it's never going to be good enough with someone bearing down right on you. As that's a bit of a giveaway for UTK is Jobro got to keep it safe. That's a little dangerous. Galaxy still with this. Nice clear away from the Vols. And it's just like that. Shaka ready on the wings, but now Xavier getting a little bit more used to that speed. They're anticipating the plays, and they're starting to respond.
Some east to west offense here for Xavier. Can they make something of it? 50 is well challenged. Fused Irish, no touch here. Launched away. Jobro is there. Off the post and in. What an angle from Jobro in the 4 fusion, and they're able to make it work.
Oh, and this is just fantastic. You're going to see in the replay, both Xavier defenders ready for that online shot. And Jobro says, all right, I'll pop it to the other corner. Another 2-0 scoreline for UTK. There's still a few opportunities here for Xavier unless you give it right back on the kickoff.
They give back off a kickoff here, and that's going to extend UTK's lead. They're now up. But, I mean, Xavier, it just feels like they're struggling just a tad bit on getting these solid offensive chances. They're just barely missing out on a couple of these connections. Like you mentioned, the possession just barely off target on a couple of these passes. But outside of that, I mean, they're keeping pace for the most part. They just got to clean up a few of these touches.
Yeah, and I think that's the mark of this team, and we saw a similar situation against USC. They go down 0-2. Feels like they can't quite keep pace with the game, and then they start to ramp up, and they start to adjust, and they pull back that momentum as already Jobro, decent. Oh, and this is just the connection. That was nearly beautiful. 1-2 and back. As UTK keeping this pressure on, and it's Xavier looking for at least one, I think, for confidence going forward in the rest of this series.
Galaxy doesn't get the power flick that he wanted. Jobro in the Mach-E, I called it the Fusion earlier. Ford will get mad at me for that one, but the Mach-E is, one of those cars that you can get a lot of power in those hitboxes. A pinch pass here. Maybe something set up short side, but Confused Irish is denied by Shaka. Now Jobro gets by one. Pass in field once more. And it feels like UTK, too, the position of these offensive players, time and time again, right at the top of that blue box, always ready to go for those redirects.
That was a nice pinch over top, and it is UTK. They're giving themselves outlets, whether that's straightforward or on the sides of the pitch, as Jobro able to just keep that Mach-E forward, and now Hermes trying to set up at least one more for the road. There's a few seconds on the clock. Galaxy will deny. It's popped out. Shaka's going to ferry this one to the corner, and it's dangerous for a moment. There was enough time to get back, and UTK holding on to this lead.
Holding on indeed. Kept the ball up here. Maybe one more for the road. Galaxy got over 2. Has the boost to flip, reset it as well. Kept up in the corner. And maybe something. No, Galaxy's got to redirect this back. Has Confused Irish. Maybe a chance here for Tennessee to get one the other way, but it's blocked by Galaxy, and that one will kick to the ground. And that will seal away game number 2. But still, Tennessee onto match point, and I again, it just feels like they're 1 or 2 touches away, Xavier, are from being able to really make that key play to keep them alive in the series.
Yeah, I think so. And even though the scoreboard didn't show it, I felt like that was definitely a more solid game from Xavier because they were getting in the way of UTK's structure, right? It was a whiff that gave the first goal. It was a kickoff that gave the third. So it's a lot less of this constant connection between Shaka and Jobro that we were expecting. It is Xavier getting in the way of those kinds of passes. So we're seeing positive changes, but UTK, they're still putting it on net. They're still holding the pressure, and they've got that 2-0 lead. So it'll be a tall task to ask them to do what they did to USC.
Although a lot of the playmaking ability is on Jobro and Shaka, I gotta commend Hermes for the ability to weave in between their rotation and be able to make some of those plays. I mean, they're not getting on the scoreboard as much, but they're doing the subtle things right, and they're not making errors on those plays, because those are the windows where you see where you see Xavier start to find their opportunities back into the game. But Hermes has been rock solid when tested.
Yeah, and it was just, again, Hermes that created so many opportunities in game one. Hermes showing off some of their own mechanics, making the defense think, and that can be just as valuable, if not more, than some of these passing plays, is forcing your opponents to worry about your playmaking potential.
Start of game 3 here. Xavier, they pulled off a reverse sweep in their one win against the USC Trojans. But this is going to be a much tougher task, the way this series has paced itself out. High shot here. Confused Irish will be able to dribble that ball out. Scrib, maybe a play here. Has to get by Hermes. Demoed by Hermes instead. Galaxy now back, trying to find a way to fight through here. Scrib, unable to dive at this one, which means Tennessee gets to keep the offensive pressure going. Confused Irish, not the best of touches, which means Hermes looks for Shaka, looks for Jobro in front, and Confused Irish just barely able to get back in time.
Oh, and that was almost an empty net opportunity on the way back for Xavier, but just going back to that defense, Scrib just found himself in an impossible situation where you're stuck on the near post, unable to make a decent touch. Confused Irish, that's a good drop down to slow this attack for the side of the Vols, as now going back to it. There's an opportunity, and there's Irish in the net.
Confused Irish with a huge opener here after getting locked out in that previous game. They find one. Scrib, though, is the one to set it up. Look at that dribble around all three, really, and forks that ball mid. And the belief, again, on those infield passes. Xavier, right spot, right time, and Confused Irish gets the Musketeers a goal.
And I think that's got to be a huge confidence booster, especially knowing their history. Now they're probably just like, all right, we did it to the Trojans, let's do it again. And Jobro wants to dash those hopes just as quickly with a nice equalizer.
The catch by Hermes and the pinch pass was way better than anticipated. What a great play on the Honda Civic there to get that one off the corner and across. And Jobro, again, with a lot of defenders inside the box, that pass was just perfect enough to get it over in front, towards that far post. And he's able to muscle it in and tie this game up just like that.
And that's got to be a huge, gut punch for the Musketeers. They've still got one, though, and they know that they can get it with their own devices. They can set up plays. They can take this pressure forward. So I think for the side of Xavier, they're happy to just keep crashing, as that's a double commit. Haven't seen many of those forced this game out of the UTK defense. So showing Xavier doing a lot of stuff right and forcing the Bulls to really start to think. That's another tap out. There's a shot attempted, and Scrib just wide. Alexi keeping the pressure, and UTK keeping it out.
Dangerous opportunity, though, from the side of Xavier. They're able to get this ball into the orange box a couple of times, and even though it's not the most dangerous of chances, the windows are there for them to be able to get good pressure online here. This is a short side shot that Shaka will be able to corral, and maybe something here off the fake. A second one at that, but Confused Irish will have none of it. Launches this ball to the orange half. Quickly goes the other way, but Galaxy on the pop shot will be denied by Hermes. Ripped off the wall once more. Redirected close. Jobro off the hood of his car beats one. Fakes a second, and it's 2-on-1 the other way. Scrib the last man back, make it 3-1. Shaka gets a little antsy. He wants the goal, and he'll find it too. UTK take the lead.
And Scrib, once again, impossible situation, but Shaka, the confidence to just go completely offline and know that's going to be on target. Just insane playmaking from the lead on UTK. That's a fake. It's passed to the corner. Good interrupt by Galaxy to keep the shenanigans from getting out of hand. So now it might go the other way. That's on target, and Shaka back just in time.
Grib also trying to keep this ball in midfield, but it might give UTK a better chance. I think they've got more boost here. Hermes over top of one from the corner part of the ceiling. Scrib will be able to clear it away. Confused Irish keeping low here, sends it mid. Scrib is there, feed back on the give and go. Confused Irish could not go on it, which means the Galaxy is put in an odd spot here in midfield, but they do find the block. Half their boost gone. They'll look to steal more. Confused Irish from his own corner. Goes all the way across the net. Dangerous clear, but it gives Xavier possession. Underneath one, Confused Irish finds another touch, out of boost and cleared away once again by Shaka. UTK starting to retreat now as they're in an odd spot here. Not a powerful clear, but Jobro can't find a clear here. 40 seconds remaining, and Xavier, they've got the ball in the right half.
Yeah, and they've kept this pressure for just the majority of this game, and it came down to UTK having to pull some wacky plays out of their back pocket to make it work. As now Scrib has a chance, shut down by Shaka for a second. That's going to be another pop out. This is dangerous as Hermes sends it to the side. Shaka doesn't have a clean touch, and UTK saved once again.
Short time here. Galaxy chips it up. Scrib with an opportunity, trying to tee up Galaxy once again. Shaka on the shutdown, redirected up high. Jobro is there, air dribble attempt, cut off once more by Galaxy. They've got to keep this ball up though. It's off the wall once more. Galaxy's got no boost left. Confused Irish has to dribble this, has to come up with something, but he's out of boost and they're out of time, and UTK will get the brooms out in this series.
Very, very well done by UTK, showing the power of that main roster when all together, but still a great effort out of Xavier. That was a 3-0, but every single game was close. That last one, 2-1, biggest goal differential was 3. Speaking to your point about being and having such a rough record, but keeping all of these games close, showing that they're still a threat and showing that this team still has a lot in them.
Yeah, Tennessee entering this week 1-3, a game score of 4-9. So of their previous games, they'd only won 4 games in each of those, or in a total series, and a goal differential of -27. After a series like this, really helps them battle back. Now they're just a game away from even. Now that goal differential is much lower, or much smaller to deal with, and they've leapt up to nearly an even record in game score. So for potential tiebreakers down the line, games like these are going to give them a chance. And for Xavier, obviously not the result you wanted, but once again, it's a series of just minute choices for them. The small errors cost them the series, and they're still keeping it neck and neck with some of these top tier teams. But if they just are able to clean up one thing here or there, they're right in the thick of things in the playoff race.
Yeah, I think so as well. We're still early. There's still the spring semester. There's still the rest of this fall split, right? So plenty of time for these teams to keep improving. And with how tight the league has been getting, it's nothing but impressive. As we're going to cut to a quick break before listening in to UTK comms and seeing what was going on in their heads during that clean sweep, as we'll be right back. after that insane matchup. Clean sweep for UTK over Xavier. How you feeling after that win?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a good series. Glad we got the sweep.
And I mean, for this series, I mean, this team a little bit slower of a start, but you guys have mentioned in the past how UTK it's a growing team that's sporting, I believe, 3 teams at least in terms of roster. So, you know, how do you? I guess I'm curious about how the kind of practices go for you guys. Do you play with each other very frequently, or is it just kind of sticking to your section of teams? Because I know that the teams of old have been mostly Hermie, Trimmies in the past, and Purple's been slotted in the lineup a couple of times.
Yeah. So this year, Mikey and Trimmy both graduated, and me and Shaka were on a different team last year. So we took in Hermes as our third, and obviously the roster Purple, Corn Chip, or I think his name is something different now, and then Randy Beans has been playing because we've had some scheduling conflicts, and so now we've been able to step back in and play. This week is really our first full series together in EGF, but we play against each other some, mainly against our B team, but we mainly focus on scrimming other colleges aside from ourselves, because I guess you get to the point with your own school where you scrim each other so much that you just know each other too well, so you don't really get anything out of the scrim. So we're kind of at that point now.
And now that you guys have, like you said, this is kind of your first real week together on EGFC, or at least full series for you guys. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind about this series in particular that you're gonna go like, oh, we need to work on this more, or this is something that we need to improve upon?
I mean, I think for us, we were pretty confident going into this one. We were just having fun tonight. I think we had another one right before this where we definitely have some stuff that we've got to work on, which I don't want to give too much of it away, but we've got a kind of a game plan for the rest of our matches, trying to stick to our style, and we're just going to keep doing the same thing, really, just cleaning up the little mistakes.
That's awesome. Get that practice, keep it clean. Now, I've got to ask, is part of what you're cooking up in the kitchen that wacky 3v1 into double tap that Shaka had off the top of your hood when you guys were up against Scrib in that last game?
Yeah, that was a funny moment because I was screaming at him not to take the ball from me, and then he took it off the top of my car and ended up scoring, and we were just like, okay, I guess it's fine then. But it was kind of one of those that we were just dying laughing, so good moment.
Yeah, because like in the booth, like right afterwards, Soy and I were just like, that's like a ranked moment where you're screaming at your teammates. So good to know it was the same way in y'all's comms as well. As of course, here on EGF, want to give you a chance to shout out whoever you want to thank for the dub today.
So shout out Shaka and Hermes, the boys. It's a good win. Shout out our club. Love all you guys. Shout out our other teams, especially UTK White for stepping in and playing for us for the last few weeks. We really are grateful for them. So
it's amazing to hear a great community built around a great team that's starting to really step into their element. Looking forward to seeing more of y'all throughout the season.
yeah, thank you guys.
And for everyone at home, that was a great match. We got another one lined up. William and Mary up against Cincinnati. The Tribe up against the Bearcats. Should be a fantastic matchup, as we're going to cut to a quick break before getting y'all that action. Stick around. And welcome back to the EGFC. As I said, it'd be a quick break, and we got William and Mary up against Cincinnati. I'm Jay Turbo, joined alongside the astronaut that is Soy Sauce tonight, as we're excited for some high-flying action.
Yeah, and this one should be a good one. An East Coast battle here. William and Mary taking on Cincinnati. The Tribe versus the Bearcats in two teams that could really use this win. Cincinnati trying to stay atop the Eastern standings, and William and Mary trying to bounce back.
Yeah, William and Mary, they've had a really rough schedule so far. And I mean, even just looking to their most recent loss last week against Delaware, weren't able to have Dolphin in the roster. So we'll see if that'll be the case again today, if Pilot's going to be subbing in. And for the Bearcats on the other side, Frick, Cy, and Barry, this is a squad that have just been looking really strong so far.
Yeah, really strong. And it's a group that, again, we talked about it at the start of the season, but Cincinnati's gotten a lot of kind of roster changes throughout their time here at EGFC. They've gone through a bunch of different variations, but these three are starting to be the consistent three, and they're performing at a very high level, and they've had a fantastic run because of it. Their only loss has come at the hands of NAU, who were a top 8 team last year.
Yeah, and NAU, as you said, top 8, no slouches. And it's also a Cincinnati team that I think is really trying to build back from their image last year. They started off incredibly strong. I want to say they're 4-0, 5-0 to start off the season. And then just as the level of play started to rise, the Bearcats weren't always able to keep up. And again, struggling against some of those top 8 teams. And William and Mary, they've been one of those more historic squads in the EGF, always trying to push into that upper level. So now this would be a big win to sort of cement the Bearcats and an answer for William and Mary. As we do get confirmation, Dolphin's not going to be starting today. It's going to be Pilot in.
Yeah, but William and Mary, even though it's been a bit of a slower start for them, we know here at the EGFC that this is a squad with a lot of potential. Like you said, they've always been kind of on the bubble of those playoffs. Last year was their first year in, but they've always had that upset factor about them. They've gotten a couple wins off of that Tennessee squad that we just saw in the past, and part of the reason is that you look at their schedule, they have had a brutal start. I mean, Delaware last week, week 2, they had UTA, so it has not been an easy go for them, and they are keeping it close a lot of the time here.
Yeah, I want to say that UTA series is, what, a 3-1? Still keeping it close, and I mean, even up against Delaware, not having Dolphin in the mix, they were still taking it to the Blue Hens, who at the start of the show were looking incredibly strong up against those very same Arlington Mavericks. Not able to get the dub, but still contesting the reigning champs is always going to do you well in this league, as Legacy keeping this dangerous, and Pilot getting in the way of Frick for a moment. That's going to be a nice little outlet.
Starting to go the other way for Frick, but maybe something off the backboard here. Can't be able to jump at that one, and Legacy gets demoed off this ball. Cy will pinch it up. And this was a matchup that occurred in the conference playoffs last year when Dolphin and company were able to make that run towards the finals. They got a good upset. This was one of the teams that they had to beat in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati was able to come out on top, so they can try and get that revenge here. It'd be great for them. But, I mean, right now, so far everything Cincinnati's been able to handle. Try to slow down the pace there in the corner. Truth with a good block. Pilot is, I think, the player to watch in this series. You know, we talked about how they're kind of subbing in, but they've been a pretty good playmaker even when stepping into the lineup for, you know, one of the top scorers from the side of William and Mary, decently positioned and able to get the opener here off the short side angle, off the dunk, off the post, and in. William and Mary strike first.
Pilot heard my concerns, puts them to rest. Risky shot, but that post in, very difficult to try and respond to for Barry, just parked on the post. And the Bearcats really struggling in their defensive third for, I want to say, the last minute. There were a few moments where it was just sitting in front of their net, where there were constant attempts that just couldn't quite make it. And in that final push, getting through for the Tribe is now Pilot. Bit of a ferial. Legacy's back for this one. So no harm, no foul. And it's William and Mary as we near the halfway point. Looking a lot more confident than the Bearcats.
Yeah, strong start here for the Tribe as Truth now up for it. Can't beat one. You get back to this ball. No, it's going to be Frick who is able to clear this ball away. Minimal boost in his tank though. Sai will take over. Pilot from the backboard will launch this one away. In transition finds Legacy. Shot just barely off target there. Barry will help careen that ball wide. Truth now trying to buy his teammates some time with this air dribble towards his own half. Has Legacy. And even though it's been a little bit of stumbles here in terms of getting the ball into the right spots, William and Mary positionally are in the right place to be able to respond to it. Nearly a fake there, and Sai almost had it. Short side angle will get cleared away by Pilot. Redirected back. Sai now looking for a chance off the corner. Feeds it down in front. Still loose in front, and it's going to be Legacy to clear it away.
Oh, and that hurts for Sai, missing 2 touches that each could have been a goal on their own. As William and Mary lucky to escape unscathed, as there's still pressure, and there's another save from Legacy.
Huge chance there. Cincinnati, this is an offense that has gone about scoring in a couple different ways, but one thing has been true for them, their ability to just churn out shots no matter the cost. They are able to put some decent chances onto net here. And here, look at this from Frick. Over one, flick past the second, and it's a tie game.
Yeah, it's just a great little mix-up. That Pilot's just unsure exactly what the pace of this ball is going to be. Has a difficult time trying to challenge. And a much-needed equalizer coming out of the Bearcats.
1:13 on the clock here in game number 1. Pilot wins the kickoff, but it goes right to Sai. Truth now. 50 is a bit odd. Got to flip reset off the back of it. And the mix-up leaves Frick with the brace. 2-1 Bearcats.
Oh, and just look at this recognition. Sai sees that there's only one member left. No need to go for the ball, just go for the bump. You got your team in the back end. And after such a good opening 3.5 minutes, William and Mary suddenly on the back foot.
They're going to have to find a way to come back here. Truth can't win that challenge off the wall. Another demo on the backside. These 2v1s have been brutal for William and Mary. Can't escape them. And it's going to lead to another. Frick with the read off the bounce. Put on the hat trick for him.
I can't believe we just saw like a 30-second hat trick right here out of Frick. And such a janky goal, this third one, that pinch up. No one on the defense was ready for it, and that's why sometimes you just got to go for those pops when you know you've got a reactive player like Frick waiting in the wings, as now we're going to see a double attempted. You force your opponents to think, and you let Sai get the bar down.
And just executing on mispositioning here. Pilot's caught completely out, and Legacy, I mean, he's got to stay grounded there. Normally, you want to challenge that one from the backboard, but with no one back, he has to be able to make that save, and it's near impossible from that position with Sai bearing down on you. It's got the whole net to shoot at, and he sends it into the upper third.
Yeah, and it's straight off the kickoff, too, so it's not even like this is a fault in William and Mary's back post and backboard rotations. It was just a matter of Frick's just that fast off the rip. And now we're going to see a few attempts made. I think William and Mary would love to get one back, as that's a nice bounce up to make this one difficult to handle. But still, Bearcats able to just put so much pace in just a few seconds. And that's certainly got to leave the tribe wondering and potentially a little nervous. But their opening 3.5 minutes were fantastic. And they got to stick to that as this clock ticks down.
Maybe one more for the road here. Pilot not finding a touch off the backboard. They do get the 0-second bounce, but it will eventually drop down. They're doing their best to keep it up here. Maybe one more. No, running out of runway, as it will be the Bearcats taking game number 1 of this series. But yeah, like you said, first half of the game really was strong from William and Mary. They were able to get the majority of their chances. They had the opener, but in that last couple minutes or so, could not close it out. And defensively, the Bearcats just finding windows of opportunity, just slight missed plays or missed touches or mispositionings from William Mary getting punished. And I got to commend the control that the Bearcats had on a lot of those offensive chances. Think back to Frick's second goal, that short pop-up over the defender into the flick. Being able to hold that ball for the last second, that decision-making really key from Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I think decision-making is the key point. You don't ramp up that many goals that quickly without some solid shot calling and some great team awareness. And that's exactly what we're seeing out of Cincinnati. They put their foot on the gas, and they're making William and Mary sit on the other side of it and just try to keep up. As Truth gets an attempt, got a flip off of that one. It's a low shot, and this one nearly off the crossbar. That one hurts for William and Mary, getting the worst side of the bounce.
Just an unfortunate sequence there. William and Mary will want that one back. Pilot doesn't find a touch here. Truth had to quickly scoop that ball up. Won't be able to get back to it, though. Goes all the way across, and Legacy sends it off his own backboard and crossbar to get that ball out. 30 seconds in, and the Bearcats are pressing right now. Barry looked for the back touch, but his teammate was moving forward. Sai now, trying to find a teammate. Will end up finding himself. Drop down now, maybe a chance. Redirected away once more. Pilot looking for a pass play. Sai with the bluff. Maybe a chance here to send this up. Pilot was there, but could not find a touch. Now has the ball, gives it away to Frick. Legacy now has to jump for this ball, leaves it for Truth. No touch coming again, and William and Mary, it feels like they're trying to answer this pace of play, but it's leading to a lot of rushed touches, but that's a giveaway in front, and Legacy will say thank you very much. Another opener for the Tribe.
Yeah, I want to watch this one back as, yeah, that's just a really tough angle to try and approach for Barry and William and Mary. Very easily able to take that one in. But to your point, Soy, it feels like William and Mary, they're just a little too heavy on the ball. And that's one thing you'll see in teams that are forced to play a little faster than they're used to. They're not quite sure exactly how powerful their touches are going to be at that pace of play just because there isn't that muscle memory. There isn't that same team play and familiarity. So I think William and Mary, they're definitely a team that can adjust to speed. We will probably see some of those heavier touches start to drop back as they get used to it. Already they're showing some confidence after that opening goal, and that's exactly what you want to see out of the Tribe, especially after, again, that last real minute and a half of play in game number one. As this is dangerous for Pilot. Drop down. Sai with a big save.
Those are the ones that hurt for William and Mary, right? It looks like it's so dangerous, but for the defense, sometimes you can just get away with shooting it on your own net as long as you know you're going to miss. You can send it high off the backboard, and it leads to a clear. But here comes William and Mary. Look at the dribble, and look at the muscle! And Truth says, I will not be denied today. 2-0 William Mary.
Oh, and look at Frick. Just his axles are broken. They're done. In the paint, just gets lost in the 1v1 against Truth. Caught going the wrong way. Good recognition out of William and Mary Lee to find that option and opportunity. Take some gusto to look for that kind of play and found exactly the right window.
Huge window there. And now a substantial lead. 2 goals with half the game remaining. A good buffer for William and Mary. We saw that Cincinnati, they can score in bundles. To have that little bit of an excess cushion feels good for the side of the Tribe. But look at Cincinnati. Here comes the pressure from the ceiling. Truth, no boost here, but he bumps one. And so Legacy should have a clear. Maybe he can get a second. Yes, he does. Good dunk there. Sai's in an odd spot, which means Pilots gets to launch this one on target. And Sai with the block, redirected all the way across. Maybe in transition, Barry can find the back. And it's Frick to get the dunk on the goal line. 2-1, Cincinnati are starting their comeback.
Yeah, I just want to see this shot from Barry. Yeah, that was going to be on. Pilot's got to dive. Really intelligent play from Frick. Doesn't have to do much, but just get your hand up and block that one on in. And this is where you get a little worried for William and Mary, as we saw Cincinnati score quick off of these kickoffs once they felt some confidence. And that missed touch from Sai gives a little bit of time I think William and Mary needed to get their defense back set up, as that's a nice cut from Truth to keep this one out of their own half, and maybe even a little more dangerous. That's a pop away from Barry, and it's Cincinnati once again on their own back line.
Find a way. Truth to keep it in. Sai now there to carry this ball. Challenge goes into the blue half once more. Legacy pops it up over Barry. Frick now sends it forward. Pilot to keep moving. Looks for Truth. Barry is there. That shot's decent. Rolls on target, and Legacy will clear that one away. But Cincinnati is starting to maintain some decent pressure here, trying to find something out of this corner. But it will go to Truth. Low bounce, redirected by Pilot's dangerous. The rebound shot just wide, and I think he got there too early. Again, a rushed touch just barely misses out for William & Mary. Could have been a 2-goal lead, but instead it's still 1, and with inside a minute remaining here, Cincinnati head the other way.
Oh, and now full boost on side. It's a big attack. Bigger save out of Truth. I think you see that one go to 2-2. This game might just explode for Cincinnati, but now it's going to be a bit of desperation. We've got near 35 seconds to go. Frick with a nice sub. There's going to be a double attempted, but William & Mary staying ahead of it and keeping their lead, as that's a difficult touch.
Truth with a big block there as well. Pilot's in the orange half here. He'll just kick it to the corner. Sai a little late to this one. But this is going to be one of the last pushes, I think, for the Bearcats. And Frick looking to make it dangerous. Tried to fake him out, and Pilot did not bite on it. Legacy diving back. Save is made. Here they come. Sai looking for a redirect off the wall. Finds a chip shot. The pass in front. Redirected. Oh, but the drop down. Pilot off his own backboard might have just saved this game. It redirects off the hood of a Bearcat car. Sai to keep it up. Can he get the pinch? It's down in front. It's popped up now in the orange half still towards midfield. Legacy to cut it off, and there's no boost left in the Bearcat tanks, and we are going to at least game 4, tie series at 1 apiece.
Pilot, you madman on the goal line. I mean, just goes for the drop down, sees that there's no one ready to take the shot after it's saved away, and sometimes you just got to get in the way of your opponents instead of making the best clear. And insane decision making with just a couple seconds to go, and I think that saves the game.
Yeah, that touch by Pilot was everything. And to be honest, I mean, it just looks awkward. I'm pretty sure he just kind of whiffs this ball and readjusts on it to drop it down back towards his own net. But the fact that he got that touch throws off the attacking line, and thus they don't make contact. The shot doesn't come through, and they're able to clean it up defensively. So William & Mary, huge defensive stand there at the end of the game. But right now, this has been a series about a tale of two halves. In the opening of these games, William & Mary has found the advantages, has just come out the gates swinging, getting these early leads, and it's been Cincinnati battling back in the second half. We'll see if that stays true here as this series continues. Game 3 underway.
Yeah, and Sai already a little bit weak off that touch, but another awkward touch gives it right back to the Bearcats, and Cincinnati going to be happy with this bit of a giveaway as Pilot just turns into a pass to Barry, and there's not much else to this one.
Yeah, Pilot, the unfortunate touch there, and then Barry on the dribble. Good stuff to Barry, too. Not the easiest thing in the world. He had plenty of time to catch that ball, but you see Legacy bearing down at you, and as long as you make that right decision and get the right flick on that ball, it's a guaranteed goal, and that's just what Barry did. So Bearcats, early lead for them. Their first, I believe, of this series. It's been William & Mary jumping off to those early starts, so to get one back here, it's a good sign, and Frick might have another. Denied by Pilot. Legacy will force it wide. Sai chips it out mid, but Barry is once again a little too far forward. He will get the block on Pilot's clear attempt, and maybe something for the Bearcats here as they look to move the other way. Pass 2, but Frick can't make contact. Still, all of William & Mary were forward, and it's a give and go for Barry. The ease up, the tee up, and the dunk for the Bearcats.
Yeah, and this is just beautiful team play, a fantastic pass, and just catching William & Mary off guard as they've looked really disorganized after that opening goal. And I think that if you're in the Tribe Comms, you've got to just slow down, make sure you hold on to your rotations, because we just saw Truth and Pilot on the same ball during that last replay. And it's moments like that you just can't be giving away. It's spots where Bearcats get those 2v1s, those 3v1s, that they're able to just confirm scores incredibly well. So it's about William & Mary keeping their rotations tight and not giving away more opportunities like that, as everyone forced to dive and no one able to make the third save.
It's a hat trick here for Barry, but this all comes off of that redirect. That was beautiful from Sai to readjust to that ball, and then Barry is in the right spot to make that shot happen, especially after the triple commit there defensively from William & Mary. So, like you said, the comms have got to, stabilize here for William & Mary. They cannot afford to give up anymore. I mean, you're looking at the last game, maximum goals they've been able to really score has been 2, so You got to find a way to fight back here, but it's easier said than done. Cincinnati starting to kind of pinch down on a lot of these opportunities, and they're winning the race to a lot of these 50-50s as well. Truth will be able to sneak by here and get a demo, but Sai is the only one around this ball. It's going to take a minute for Pilot to get there. Legacy, maybe an air dribble attempt. No, again, can't control that ball. Sai goes low with the shot. Truth gets the block on it. Pilot will clear it away, but it's right to Barry with boost. Ceiling shot attempted. Denied there by Truth, and can't get over Frick as well. Bearcats playing patient at the midfield, and it's giving Cincinnati so much time on attack.
Yeah, as this is just a great example of being able to mix up your play style against your opponents. As we saw a lot of that faster play, now we're just seeing Cincinnati more willing to slow things down, create a little space, and William and Mary responding with demos on the counterattack.
Huge play here. Legacy recognizes he's ahead of everything, and Pilot launches this ball on, and the recognition there. He's got two defenders that he could go try and bump or demo, and he picks the one that's the closest instead of the one that's on the far side, recognizing where that shot was going to go from Pilot. So well executed by William and Mary to get that one back, and just like that, 2-goal lead now for Cincinnati. William and Mary starting to kind of reverse the script here. After the fast start from Cincinnati, it's William and Mary on the comeback.
Yeah, and the one point I was really looking towards and really hopeful for is there's plenty of game left to play and plenty of goals for Pilot to just fly over the top. As looks like it's just no one's quite ready, and I want to say third man went for boost. I'm not sure what happens on that back line, but regardless, Pilot spots an opportunity and sinks it.
Yeah, what a laser of a shot, too. So much power on that one. And Sai, I think you're right. I think he was turning for boost, recognized that his players got beat, and tried to readjust, but not fast enough. And just like that, 1-goal game. Maybe a tee up here. This one's dangerous. What a save by Truth on the goal line. That one was destined for the back of the net, but Truth again saying not today.
And that's a big save to make. I think that one goes past all the momentum, suddenly just gets pushed out of William and Mary's lungs, as now you've got that continuation. It's the counterattack that's been really strong for William and Mary this game so far. It seems like the Bearcats are getting everyone involved, and sometimes that means a little too involved if you can't have your third man back quick enough. As Legacy gonna pop this over top, Barry right over to Sai. And I think for Cincinnati, they're starting to slow down this game, starting to cut time off the clock and play as much possession as possible.
Yeah, time is on their side. And Truth knows it, tries to air dribble this one into the orange half to get the offense going. No touch there from Sai. He leaves it for Frick. Air dribble attempt. Has the flip reset. Gets over Pilot. Save made by Legacy. Truth is up. No touch comes through. Shot wide, high and wide there from the side of Barry, which means Pilot will get the clear. But this is going to be one of the few chances William and Mary has to mount this comeback. It's quickly cut off. Legacy on the dribble. Pinch play here is going to set up Truth for a challenge. Good dive back there to save that ball. Pilot now air dribbling, looking for the double tap. Cut off on the backboard by Sai and company. Legacy to chip it in, but another booming clear. If they have this touch, it's just high from Sai, but with short time remaining, William and Mary might give up one here. Barry on the flick, pushed it wide. William and Mary escaped for the moment, but they've got to get this ball into the orange half.
They're trying. Truth, they got one last drive in you. No boost to speak of. Sai is going to pop this one up. Legacy, nothing to continue as Barry sends it to the side. Pilot, the only one standing with boost. Truth's going to make an attempt, and this is still getting deeper and deeper into Tribe territory. No clean catch, and that is going to be Bearcats nabbing up game 2, as it was hard fought, and there was a great little stint from William and Mary in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, the Bearcats jumped off to such an early lead with Barry's hat trick right off the bat. Like you said, William and Mary, in the middle of that game, started to find windows. They were starting to make some plays. And I think the biggest thing is, William and Mary, the chances, although they are few and far between, are generally pretty high quality. At least that's what we saw in this game. A little bit of a reversal script in terms of the timing of when that offense is happening. the fact that they're getting consistent quality chances is keeping them alive. If they can get the ball out more defensively, if they can cleanly transition here, you feel like this offense has got the firepower to keep pace with Cincinnati. They're just spending a decent amount of time on defense.
Yeah, their counterattacks looked really, really solid, and Cincinnati's a little bit of an overcommitment at times, I'm going to say. And I will commend, though, Cincinnati in that last minute and a half when they were slowing the game down and trying to run down that clock. You saw William and Mary get confused, start to get really, really awkward as their opponents just weren't on the timings they'd started to bake in. And it's moments like that where you've got to watch for these teams' abilities to just adjust on the fly. Do you have the ability to slow down for a second, read your opponent's movements, and then kick up the pace when you need to, as that's another near open and another diving save from Truth as we stay even.
Well, boy, Truth is having himself a series right now. So many key saves, including that goal that helped get them game number 2. But can they continue to play at this pace? Legacy getting the initial block. Pilot, dunk under 1. Too many players here for the side of William Mary to really be able to reach through. Truth is bumped off of this one as well. Legacy got the boost, but the ball is taken from him by Barry. Chip pass. Pilot is there. The pop-up will only go to Frick, who now looks for a bump. But Legacy whiffing on this one. Truth has, again, been really good about making plays here. Even with 0 boost, you can tell there is effort behind every single touch, but unfortunately, it will amount to naught. No boost means he can't clear the ball. Pilot gives it away, and Barry will strike first here in Game 4.
Yeah, Pilot, no boost. I think that's a little greedy to try and go for something that high. I think you just want to get it out, try and carry it as far as possible against the wall, but difficult decisions, trying to get it to a teammate. That's just a tough spot for the entire Tribe roster, as they were all hurting for boost, as Legacy just runs right underneath. Seems like it's just trying to play for the option off of a potential pass. Instead, this is turning into a little bit of Bearcat pressure as they're circling the net.
Big block there. Maybe Barry can set up his teammate. Frick, parked in the blue half, was looking for that redirect, couldn't get up fast enough. We'll get a chance at this one. It is locked away once more. Legacy, feed in. Truth is there. Truth with a shot, and Truth will score. And in the illustrious words of Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth.
Honestly, it seems that it's the Bearcat kryptonite so far. Such an intelligent shot, spotting exactly how quick these Bearcats are going, and you just got to get it behind them to score. As we're all even, 3 minutes to go. Base script would say this is when Cincinnati starts to step up. Game 3 would say it's William and Mary's time to shine, as Truth nearly gets an extension and Sai's forced to make the saves. Another pop-up from Pilot, and that saved just a clean 50 right in the midfield. And this one slowed down right in front of Sai.
Dangerous one. Sai will have a chance near Sai, just barely missed on it. Barry to keep the pressure on. Sai on the redirect, but Bearcats all at midfield. Can't dive at this one cleanly. Maybe a chance here for Truth. Drops down. Gets a good challenge as well. The Bearcats, again, maintaining possession for most of the game, but William and Mary have found their windows and been able to tie it up here as we're past the halfway marker. Truth on the air dribble. Sai quick to cut it off. Frick now towards the backboard. Pilot pinches it to safety. And William and Mary kind of forced to play east to west here early on in this defensive stint, but it's going to lead to another giveaway. Just barely able to get there in time. William and Mary are playing at not a comfortable pace for them, but they're able to hold on and get the touches they need to get out defensively.
Yeah, and once again, just a little heavy from Truth. Frick gets there just in time. Now no boost, a blessing for William and Mary on the back end. As we're going to see Cincinnati race back, and a great cut from Sai. That could have turned into a very quick offensive turnaround. It was just a little bit lighter. So now William and Mary the ones starting to threaten at least a little bit. Frick low on boost here as well. Going to have to try and collect as many pads as possible on the way back. This is still 2v3 on defense. Big stop to keep it out of the orange third, and a better attempt from Sai to make William and Mary sweat.
And Cincinnati, again, the offense just or at least defense, they're only there for 30 seconds max. They're able to weave their way out thanks to Cy and Barry and company making these key dribbles, key touches, able to find space as William and Mary get pinched off in the boost department here at midfield. Truth, 12 in the tank. Cy already up for it. Sends it to the wall, though, which means that Pilot will be able to launch this ball down the pitch. Barry, the 50, goes high over the net towards the opposite side. Truth, no touch here. Legacy looks to set himself up. Does, but the shot is near side and wide. Will be redirected towards the opposite corner. Legacy can't get the boost again, and William and Mary, they'll have to trot back here defensively. Truth now, looking to beat Frick, and he does. Cy in a bad spot here. Barry will be able to launch this one over to him, though. Maybe a chance from the wall with short time remaining. Flip reset. Gets it by. Truth demoed. Over top of Legacy. Dribble attempt. And it's Frick to score. With 6 seconds remaining, the Bearcats take the lead.
And this entire just last minute of play felt like it was ramping up. William and Mary making a couple missed decisions here and there. Seeing Legacy stick around and not quite get the boost canister, weakening their defense overall, as we're going to see a kickoff play attempted. It goes the wrong way. Cincinnati will collect, and that all but locks up this series for the Bearcats.
3-1 now. Frick will get the assist as Barry steals this one, but it will not matter. Cincinnati is going to close out this series. William and Mary, another series for them where it's fought hard, felt close for so long, but just one or two things don't go their way. Can't get the touches, didn't have the boost, couldn't hold on long enough, and instead they drop a series, and Cincinnati extend their streak. Now they're up to 4-1 on the season and looking fine doing so.
Yeah, that they are. But still, I think this is a series that if you're Cincinnati, you want to look back at. There's a lot of great stuff to learn, seeing how William and Mary was still able to keep that pressure up. And I mean, Pilot was, I will say, quite the playmaker stepping in for Dolphin, really keeping this roster together. And Truth stepping into that leadership role. Really impressive stuff out of the William and Mary roster. Again, just couldn't quite keep it clean. And I mean, but the thing is, though, for Cincinnati, if they want to be that top 8, they've got to be winning these matches handily, and William and Mary made them sweat.
Cincinnati was a team last year that we all knew had that pop-off ability, but it felt rather streaky when they came to those moments. They would get, dominant wins over Big Sky Conference teams. They would take down Montana and Montana State in the kind of opening rounds of the playoffs, but those games against Delaware, those games against Tennessee, you didn't know exactly what you were going to get from them. And getting these wins against William and Mary, always solid, shows that they're still one of the top tier teams. But William and Mary keeping it close shows that is not all that much of a differential between these two.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw it out of Xavier last game as well. It was a very, very close series, despite it being a 3-0 against UTK. And I think this is another good example. William and Mary just not quite having that extra factor they really needed. As we're going to cut to a quick break before looking in, see if we can hear from the Cincinnati bench, as we'll be right back after a quick break. And welcome back to the EGFC. We've got our final matchup of the night. Auburn up against University of Southern California. Turbo and Soy Sauce here to bring you the action.
And this one should be a fun one too. I mean, Auburn and USC both 3-1 respectively, pretty similar in terms of game score overall, both with 11 wins, Auburn with one more loss, but they've been in more matches. They've been to a couple game 5s in a row, and they've clutched them out more frequently than not. USC, similar story, been to a couple game 5s, but a little bit more coin flippy on their side.
Yeah, it's been real tight. As we're going to check out the rosters, we've got Ariels, Driscoll, and Mango for Auburn, and Levi, Vista, and Wiz. So no VTR today for USC.
Yeah, no VTR is going to be noteworthy because VTR, again, such a huge playmaker for this squad. So going to be up to Levi to really step up. No Corey either for the side of Auburn. So, but this is an Auburn squad that's still just packs a punch whoever they play against. A lot of close games between these two stepping into this point here this week, but it still feels like Auburn's offense with that +9 goal differential to USC, one of the lower goal differentials, sitting at 0 despite being 3-1. It's going to be interesting to see if USC can kind of hold defensively against the Tigers.
Yeah, and right now we're getting into week 5. This is one of those breaking points in the season where you're starting to run into, again, these other squads that are 3-1, and you're going to see, is it your schedule or are you in this top level teams? As Auburn have been taking names left and right, and USC, as we've said, a little bit tighter going to those game 5s. So we'll see if that clutch factor is still present as we're on the pitch.
USC in the orange, and it's going to be Auburn in the blue. Vista over top of one, able to clear it out thanks to the help of his teammate. Maybe a chance here. The pinch will go high off the wall. Wiss now looking to make a play. He'll opt to back away as he's got no boost, but he does get the read here on the Dominus, and maybe a chance here for Mango, but drops down. Ariels is denied. Driscoll will kick that one out off the wall. And so far, Auburn has been the one kind of putting the pressure on here, keeping this ball in the orange half. Ariels just barely whiffs on it, but everyone bit on the touch, and Driscoll will be the follow-through.
Yeah, and this is just Mango, nice little pop-up. Ariels forces other members to go, and you see that double commit coming out, and Vista trying to play the shot as well, so no one actually getting on contact for USC. Early goal. Going to be some good confidence for Auburn, and really going to show that you got to be able to keep up.
Pinch should help out USC. Vista's got no boost, though. Mango, good control, looking for his teammate. Cut off, though. I Wiss. Vista now, long ball in. Mango able to save it. Near side, what an angle! What a redirect there. And Wiss, the recognition was everything off the bump from Ariels. He's able to turn that ball around, and Vista will tie things up at 1.
And awareness is everything at this level. Great heads-up play from Wiss. I mean, just making sure to take full advantage of that double and just funneling it out to Vista, as USC with a great answer back, getting their team involved. There's now a little space. I think there's still a reset. Good challenge over top as this is turning into an Auburn attack.
Start to march forward here through this corner. Ariels with boost, but not the cleanest of catches, and USC quick to jump on that one. Maybe a chance here for a double tap, wide angle. That one's going to be a shot from Vista. Stalled out, though, by the Auburn defense. Ariels will pick up boost, and he'll dive at this one. Driscoll is also up with them. Maybe a chance here for Fodgepodge, but not able to cleanly pull that one back in, and so Auburn will get a clear here. And while time of possession through this first 2 minutes of action is in Auburn's favor, still feels like USC are doing a good job of holding on and holding their own against some of these tough punches.
Yeah, that they are. This game's starting to stabilize a little bit. We've seen a few missed touches from both teams. That's a big missed touch, nearly finding its way to the back of the orange net from Vista. Very, very close. Good job keeping it out. Now a little space for Ariels. Does get the reset, does get dunked down. And I think it's going to be this midfield we're going to have to watch for. A good transition from Vista. Gets past one, and a better contest for Ariels to keep it in front of 2, as that's going to be another attempt from Fodgepodge and sent away.
And I'm interested to see Fodgepodge get involved in this offense, because you're seeing a lot of these passes and connections are between Wiss and Vista. Fajpaj has mostly been reserved as that third man, letting the two guys who have been on the roster since day one kind of get this offense rolling. So I'm looking at Fajpaj to be the difference maker once again in this series to try and make those key plays. That third man's decision making often makes or breaks an offensive attack, and so far done a good job of keeping things close.
Yeah, but Wiss just too far away from this play. Is going to have a decent chance. Not getting the ceiling reset. That's going to slow things down. Gets a decent jump back up. Dunk down. And never mind a single thing I said. Wiz takes it on his own.
The Dominus dominates over top of one, and Mango gets the block, but he sends it right back into Wiss, and the angle kicks it far side instead. Auburn gives one up here. Still plenty of time to battle back here. Minute 45 on the clock. But it's been pretty good offense from USC as of late. Starting to march forward a bit, gather up possession. And it's going to be up to Auburn to find an opening. Maybe a backside demo will help them. Vista gets demoed, but he got that clear off instead. Driscoll now with possession. Intercepted by Fajpaj. Pass in front. Soft shot is in from Wiss. The mix-up gets in the brace, and USC are up 2.
Oh, man, and this is just a great little burst of speed from Fajpaj. Aerials caught on the back foot, unsure where to go. And USC really picking up the pace here. Auburn, they were looking really strong. They've continued to surge. And I was putting them as my favorites for this game, but the Trojans came to play in game number 1, as now Auburn might have something to say about it as Mango nearly brings it on home, as Aerials with a quick punch back to keep it out of his own net.
One of the things that's been consistent about Auburn is Mango making the plays. He is the tip of the spear of this offense. And when he gets involved, things look a whole lot more dangerous, but it's going to be up to Driscoll and Aerials to really follow up on Mango's pushes. You can't depend on him for every offensive shove, so you've got to find a way to really set up your teammates here, but USC not making it very easy. They've kept this ball in the blue half for a decent amount of time, and that clock is ticking away.
That it is. USC happy to just play time, right? Wiss, nice little carry over. You're forcing 2 members in, and all you have to do is keep them disorganized, keep them out of your own half, and even now, just 20 seconds to go. Even if USC were to give one away, it'd be nigh impossible to get that immediate kickoff possession. So good grounding from Driscoll, though, as he wants to try and make that attempt. Instead, it's another aggressive challenge from Wiz, and another bouncing ball in the blue half, as this will hit the ground, and it's going to be USC confidently taking game 1.
Yeah, very, very solid start from them. Although they give up the opener, they get the next 3. And I think USC, one of the things that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, a team of adjustments and the way that they're able to quickly flip the switch in terms of in-game adaptations, right? Felt like Auburn was going to come out and be that faster team off the start to get that opening goal. But then USC once again kind of changed things up by slowing the pace down a bit, and it allows Wiss and Vista to corral that ball a bit more, control it a bit more. And when you have control of the ball, even if Auburn is playing fast, playing for challenges, they're able to control how those 50s pop out. And that's what Fajpaj was able to do on that third goal. Sees the defender incoming, but able to slow it down just a tad bit so that the challenge goes in USC's favor, and they're able to follow up with the shot from Wiss.
Yeah, and it's those little moments where both of these teams, I think, having a substitution in, it does make that difference. Fajpaj is feeling a little bit more comfortable, as now Driscoll quick over top, and that nearly gets right past Vista, and that would have been a great way for the Tigers to kick off this second game.
Still looking dangerous, though. They got possession, and the boost steal from Aerials gets to the ceiling fast enough, but he gets a ground pinch here. Unfortunately, rolls up the wall, which means Fajpaj will be able to corral it. No boost in his tank, though. Hour clear, caught by Driscoll, but 2 players up here, which means that USC get to march the other way. Wiss is looking for the aerial dribble bump, and he's got it too! Over top of Mango and Wisconsin for USC. 1-0 USC.
Oh, and Auburn's got some cluttered comms, and I don't even know how intentional that bump was. I think it was just Mango with a little decision paralysis, caught too far forward, not quite deep enough to run on back and take the shot challenge, and not quite far enough forward to get ahead of the ball, and it just turns into no man's land as Wiss, the great punish, and USC continuing their momentum and really showing that they're looking to be the team that comes out 4-1. Still plenty of time for Auburn to bring this one back as Dreskel, nice shot, forces 2 up for the save.
Forces 2 up, but can Auburn sustain it? Dreskel has to backtrack on this one, gets over top. Aerials able to redirect that one to the far corner. Fajpaj to dump it right back down in. The backboard was secured by Auburn, and Mango will now go up. But a demo on the backside. Vista cuts it back. A rebound shot here, and Fajpaj will get the second goal on the board for the Trojans. USC were swarming on this attack.
Yeah, that they were, and it feels like there's a little bit of distrust coming through for Auburn, as there was a back and forth coming through where you're seeing one member first up going for the ball, and then second man and net still waiting back. Now that's going to be a save just barely made, and Aerials will be able to cut through. So that's going to be continued pressure from USC. Wiss up, a little more miscommunication. The team bump doesn't go awry.
That was almost dangerous. Fajpaj bites at this one, but his team was able to get back in time. Vista going to make a chance, but he is denied. Dreskel centering ball. Only Fajpaj is there, and look at the turn by Vista again. Able to corral that ball, possess it, but maybe they'll get one here off the intercept, and they will. It's Aerials to get on the board and cut this lead in half.
Yeah, and that's just a heavy touch coming through from Vista, and Aerials ready, moving up the field. Some great field positioning, some great awareness for the counterattack out of Auburn. Caught USC sleeping for a second, so that's going to be a great start for their march back into this game. Only a 1-goal deficit now.
Fajpaj on the air dribble. Can't get by Mango. Will drop down for Wiss. Good catch and flick here as well. 2 players up again for the side of the Tigers, so still tripping over each other's lines here. Could open up something for the Trojans. Shot, dangerous, and it's in! Wiss is a sniper today. That's another double for him. 3-1 USC.
Yeah, but it's right off the back, exactly as you said. It's an opening made from that double commit. You can see Aerials trying to race back. You can see Dreskel still out of position from trying to go for the wrong ball. And it's space like that you just cannot afford to give over to these practiced squads, as that's going to be another nice connection between Wiss and Vista. Fajpaj with the good shadow behind, and this is just looking very difficult for Auburn as they're getting in their own way.
Oh, Vista, look at the short side angle. Pinches off the backboard, too. Everyone up for Auburn again. Mango, long ball in, should be handled, and it is by Wiss. He'll take the dribble as well. Low boost in his tank, and it goes under him on the challenge, but Fajpaj is able to get back. Rolls all the way across now. Vista, pinched down, up off the orange backboard. Wiss will actually end up whiffing. Fajpaj is getting harassed here on that potential corner boost. Dreskel towards the back wall. Mango was up, but he is denied. Aerials will be back here to catch it. Has to stall out, has to let his team get back in time. Gets underneath one. Maybe a chance of this one. Oh, the fake was so nasty, and Dreskel will score.
Oh, that's what I like to see out of Auburn, getting a little shifty with their verticality, getting a little awkward with Aerials, just creating the mix-up alongside his teammate. Great communication, great coordination, as the Tigers really showing that they're in this game and they're trying to keep into this series.
1-goal game. Minute 35 on the clock. Fajpaj up. No boost. Cut off by Aerials. Wiss launches this ball towards the blue backboard. Gets back to it and sends it across. Was looking for Vista, but Vista bit a little earlier than he'd like. Fajpaj helped defensive support here, and pop up will be corralled by Mango. Dreskel and Aerials are up for this one to get this into the orange half. Rolls down off the wall. Mango air dribble attempt. Tries to beat 2, and he's got him! Tie game with 1:06 remaining. Auburn marching back.
And since that triple commit we saw on defense, I haven't seen the Auburn lines cluttered once, and we've seen 2 goals since. It feels like that really woke them up. They're starting to get out of each other's way. And finally, Mango with a little confidence to step forward. It feels like we hadn't said their name at all today. And finally able to get a nice solo goal, and Ariel's ahead of the play. This is exactly what the Tigers need.
Short time here. We'll see if we've got overtime on the docket or not. Mango looking for aerials. I believe he got the corner boost there as well, and he just launches that one away. Vista on the cutoff. Dreskel gets beat there. Mango able to support. Cut off once more by Fajpaj. From the backboard, right down Main Street, this ball goes into the blue box. Goal line save on the crossbar. Rebound shot denied by Mango. Aerials to the boards. Gets the mid boost. Gets up high. Goes off the ceiling. Can't get the redirect. Looking for Mango on the drop down. With 20 seconds remaining, USC are headed the other way. Whisk can't get back to this one. Aerials is cut off by Fajpaj. Back inside the blue box. Short angle shot. Rebound. Save made. Mango stepping up. No boost in his tank. Will 50 this one to the wall. Time ticking away. Fajpaj loses it. Mango with the 50 gets it down to the floor, and we've got overtime.
And those last 10 seconds, all Mango makes the save and then just sits in front of the ball. Make sure that it's either going to be an Auburn possession or overtime. As we already see a little bit of boomer ball out to the midfield. Great little pop to the side. I actually really like that decision out of the USC offense, not to just try and pitch it mid, give themselves a little space to recollect as Vista sends it to the center. Whisk keeping this off the corners, and now it's time for Auburn to show if they've got their mettle when they need to clutch up, and that's a great little long ball comfortably cleared by Whisk.
That one's going to be dangerous off the backboard. 2 players commit here for USC. Not sure how much boost either of them have. Vista, as you can tell, is at 0. Doesn't get the best of 50s. Fajpaj up. Able to chip it over top of Mango. Dreskel looking potentially for his teammate here. Intercepted, but goes to the blue wall. Mango, a little late to this one. It's going to kick to the midfield. Fast shot in. Save made by Dreskel. Rebound gets kicked wide, and Auburn dodge a bullet here. Mango tried to go coast to coast. Will get on target, but unable to follow up on it. Aerials from the roof. Drop down bounce. Dreskel was there, but wasn't sure about that pass, how fast it was going to be, and USC get to go the other way because of it. Over a minute into this overtime, approaching a minute 30. It feels like both teams have gotten decent chances, but no one able to quite capitalize on it quite yet.
Yeah, that last, I want to say 30 seconds out of Auburn on the defense, very scary. Lots of just back and forth trying to track the play as this one's bouncing near the net. USC gets the clear, Whisk nearly with the conversion, and the double attempted, the shot made from Vista, as that's a 2-0 lead in the series for the Trojans.
Oh, Dreskel's gotta get there, and he just can't. Whisk is just faster, and Vista, with a lot of the net to shoot at, sees one defender in net and says, I'm just gonna rip it as fast as I can, and it goes into the upper third, and just like that, USC are on to match point. But this is a tale of two halves yet again. Auburn's slow start for them, but they find a way to battle back. They find some plays, but it's USC who have just been a little bit cleaner on a few of these touches. Again, I flash back to the possession. It feels like USC, when they tried to stretch the field a bit more, go for a few more of these booming clears, they gave Auburn more chances to score, and they were able to capitalize off the back of it. But USC finally there, they connect on a little bit shorter of a pass from inside the box to inside the midfield line, and they get a goal off the back of it.
Yeah, that's going to be the one to watch. Is the fact is that last goal going to the Trojans. And that last game looking real good for Auburn for so long. It seemed like their team coordination was there. There's another attempt over top from Josh Mango in this opening 15 seconds. Instead, sent right back. And it's USC on offense as Ariels with a clutch save.
Another huge save, and USC really peppering the backboard and those high shots, forcing boost out of Auburn. Because Auburn's boost control has been a little suspect at times, but so far, Auburn able to hold their own through the first 40 seconds or so. Can they get out of their own defensive half? 2 players biting on the side of USC, and this is what we saw a little bit in the the last series USC played in against Washington State was a handful of kind of odd rotations, gave the Trojans chances that were uncharacteristic, but we're seeing a couple more double commits here and there, and yet they're still able to generate solid opportunities and get out of their own defensive zone.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what you have to watch for the most. And look at this read coming through already from Driscoll. Sees the outlet pass opportunity, nearly gets the shot dunk over top. That would have been just the extra salt in the wound. I read your pass, and I'm scoring off it instead as well. But those are the moments you got to look for out of the Tiger offense, is watching for how USC likes to set up on the wings. You're going to see a lot of Vista to Wiss on these corners.
Launched all the other side. Was looking for Wiss, couldn't cleanly connect with them. That's a good intercept. Driscoll makes the save. Aerials to the wall. Able to pop it up. We'll use it for Mango. Wiss gets demoed, won't be able to dribble this one, but maybe late to it is Driscoll. He will make the save as Fajpaj was zooming in. Now Mango on the dribble. Flicks, but no one nearby. Wiss played patient, sat back, gained possession. Aerials cuts him off, and Driscoll with the short side bullet. My mercy, what a goal!
Yeah, Wiss just pops this up, and that's way too much space to give away when you've still got Fajpaj trying to set up, attempts the squishy save, but in that situation, it's really just a coin flip. You're hoping that you get your hand out, and this time it's Auburn to strike first, and the Tigers gotta feel good after that one, getting ahead of your opponents and beating their defense.
Starting to get back to that Auburn speed that helped them get the upset against UTA earlier, as no, Wiss is gonna get the credit for this one, but you and I are thinking the same thing. 3 defenders in net, and the worst guy to make the save ends up biting him.
There's 2 members behind you there, Aerials, and that's another spot where the Auburn comms are either getting cluttered or they're non-existent, because some communication is just not going through in those moments. As those are the kind of clutch plays you have to be able to make to keep up in this league. As Driscoll looking to tap over top. Instead, it's going to be Fajpaj looking to extend, and a nice little interruption. It's a lot of this midfield play that it feels has been the difference maker for Auburn. And USC, it seems some of their goals have just been punishing opponents' mistakes.
Punishes USC. Kind of privy to that in the Washington State series that you and I had last week. As speaking of, what a goal from Fajpaj. Just rips this ball out of Auburn's hands. Aerials thought he had an easy catch, and he lands right on top of it, and Driscoll nearly able to react to it, but that's near impossible to actually get to.
Yeah, that nice shot over top. I mean, you could hear us. We were shocked. We didn't quite have the angle on Fajpaj just going for the old dunkaroo. No candy involved, but plenty of sweetness, I'm sure, for USC as they're continuing to step up over top. Fajpaj as well bringing out the mechanics with the reset, and these Trojans are hungry, and they want this 3-0 just like we saw earlier today.
And again, this is without VTR, the normal iteration, and they are just relentless here. Again, punishing the missed touch on the backboard. Driscoll's just trying to get this ball out, and Wiss so quick to capitalize off the back of it. No assist required. He feeds himself at the near post.
So well done by USC in the latter half of this game 3 to just keep it clutch and hold on to their momentum, keep this pressure on. As now you're asking Auburn to really climb a mountain, and with one missed touch, that mountain's turning into a hill as the Tigers are starting to climb.
Yeah, this one just barely off target, right? Mango's just launching this one on, seeing if they're ready, and Vista, I believe that was, going up for it, was just a fraction of a second too late, caught a little bit too far upfield, and just a power clear on target goes in. This one could be dangerous. Mango with a bullet, and they've got it. He's got the brace. It's a tie game at 3 with 1:18 to go, and Auburn are alive and well in this series.
Oh, that they are. Brought it back to tied. Now it's going to be about getting past that final boss, getting that 4th goal in the net. It eluded them earlier, and this would be the time to do it. And USC, a team who have been reverse swept before, who have been nearly reverse swept plenty of times before, forced to clutch out in Game 5. So for Auburn, this is certainly very, very doable so long as they can get that last one in the net. 1 minute to go.
Vista, good control here. Drop down pass. Fajba's shot. Rebound goes high, and they will be able to clear it away. Huge defensive stand there. Mango now trying to march forward. 50 gets stalled. Aerials on another key 50, keeping this one at midfield. Driscoll into the orange half. Chip pass all the way across. Vista is there. Doesn't get the boost, though. Cut off by Mango. That rebound goes to Fajpaj on the air dribble. Cut off once more. Whis gets dunked as well. Starting to get into zero time here. 20 seconds. Vista trying to get something going for USC, but he's out of boost, and Auburn heads the other way.
And this is where you're going to see if there is that USC clutch factor we've seen, or if Auburn can send themselves to a Game 4 without OT. That one was close. Don't think it was quite online. Josh got one more chance over top, but Fajpaj has the save, and USC trying to extend. Aerials keeping it alive, and that's going to be a drop that takes us to overtime.
Boy, it got close, but it feels like the momentum is all Auburn right now. USC, they are a team of punishes. Like you mentioned, though, these last couple of goals have been, just a whiff or an overextension from the Tigers. So it's a tough line to walk, but it's what Auburn has to do if they're going to bring themselves back in this series. Aerials to move forward in the orange half. Mango gets by Whis. Cut off once more by Fajpaj. Driscoll now with speed through the corner. Got the bump on Vista, but Vista was still able to turn. Mango's loft shot looks dangerous, but it is wide. A whiff comes through. Bounce shot wide across the net once more. And Mango is just perched in this bottom third here, in this lower third of the orange half, going from corner boost to corner boost, trying to wreak some havoc, but eventually USC will break free.
Oh, and that's a big save from Driscoll. Both him and Aerials were on the same line, and once again, Aerials unable to snatch it at the last second. And that's going to be USC completing the sweep after a couple great fights from Auburn.
Oh, Driscoll's going to want that one back. He gets that initial touch, and the ball crosses his face, and it's a hard reaction. But when you hit it towards the wall, you have to go back to it. You have to be able to get back to any ball you hit on the east or west wall, and he just can't get there because it leads to those shots from any offense, and especially USC. They'll be able to dart those into the back of the net.
Yep. We were watching for a moment that USC could punish, and a minute into overtime, they find it. Auburn put up quite the fight, but certainly USC demonstrating they deserve to be in this top tier of teams in the EGF, staying 4-1 now in week 5 as Auburn taken down a peg to 3-2. So I'm sure the Tigers are going to want more next week, but USC without VTR still going crazy with the clean sweep.
And this is back-to-back weeks of them taking down top dogs in the EGFC. I mean, Auburn took down UTA, handed them their first loss just a week ago. And 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how Washington State, this lineup out of Wazoo, looks incredible. And USC knocked them down a peg. So it goes to show the parity of this league. No lead is safe, and USC are proving why.
Yeah, it absolutely is true. And what a fantastic showing out of the Trojans as we're going to look to round out this night, hearing from inside the Trojan camp. So we'll be right back with an interview after a quick break. Welcome back for the final time tonight with myself, J Turbo, Soy Sauce, and now we're joined by the wonderful voice of Wisconsin, or Wiz as you'll see him on the pitch. How you feeling after that clean sweep?
Good. Was not as exciting as last week's because we actually were able to keep it out of Game 5, but I don't know if that's better or worse because then it's a little less fun.
I mean, it was a fantastic series to watch. You guys are always entertaining. But for this squad, the story for you guys coming in was Fajpaj stepping into the lineup. No VTR this week, but you guys seemingly not skipping a beat offensively. So I guess can you talk to us about the depth of the lineup here and how Fajpaj kind of fits into this role?
Him being there really allowed me and Vista to kind of explore our options on offense, and I just felt it was really natural. He was great in the midfield, and we weren't suffocated on defense really that whole game, except for maybe a couple times. But just having him on the pitch just felt great. He was a great centerpiece, and allowed Vista and I to kind of do our thing, and it worked out.
And I guess this is back-to-back weeks of you guys taking on some top tier opponents in the EGFC. So I guess what is is there any kind of preparation you guys do? Any kind of, I don't know, pregame ritual you guys have to get ready for these weekly matches, regardless of who your opponent is?
God, I wish I had a good one for you, but honestly, most of us come back from class, we're just like, let's get this over with. we are not very structured.
Just fair enough. In the time card, like, let's go right after class. Let's get the dub. And this time you were real quick on it with the 3-0, not having to go to Game 5. But we mentioned a little bit, before we came back to live that you guys and myself even were seeing you guys as a bit of the underdog. But did you guys start to get more comfortable just as you started to see more double commits out of Auburn, or were you guys just playing well that you're like, all right, never mind, we got this?
The double commits were definitely one factor. During the first game, we weren't expecting it as much, but during those second and third games, we were really well adjusting to it. But on the other hand, we were just playing that well. I feel like we had the good passing plays in there, except for a couple off ones. But we were just playing that well, I think.
Oh, that is great to hear. You guys are continuing to stay on top. And if there's anyone you'd like to shout out for today's win, now's your time.
Of course, Fajpaj. What a step up! What a guy, sweetheart. My favorite. I don't know. We're gonna have to have a discussion with Vitor when he gets back. I think he might be getting replaced, but don't tell him that.
Drama inside the Trojan camp. We'll be sure to check in next week. But thank you so much, as always, for joining us, Wiz.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And Soy, that is it. It's our last game of the night, and we had a lot of sweeps today, but no shortage of quality games.
No, the EGFC always delivers week by week, and I mean these lineups. I mean, always fantastic to see these teams play things out, and we got a lot of not a lot of sweeps, honestly. Even though this one ended up being a sweep, it feels like every game is close, and that's what we love here about the EGFC. There's a lot of parity, week by week. You never know what you're going to get, and USC getting the better of Auburn here, 3-0 to end the night, but it still feels like Auburn was just that close to being able to pull things their direction.
Yeah, I think they clean up a few of those doubles, and they're right in there, right? We saw that they have the speed. We saw that they have the individual play, and it all just comes down to ironing out those last couple details, but that'll have to be for practice and for another night, as we'll be signing off. J Turbo and Soy here, and of course, shout out to MGO behind the camera, who's been our production, handling everything and keeping the show running, and shout out to you guys